every... What day is it?
Tuesday?
Tuesday night! His ghost returns to wreak his horrible vengeance.
Oh, but tonight's Tuesday night!
Then he'll be coming.
The issue is with the politics of Hollywood and how it's structured, and some people, like Avery, are considered against the grain too much for them to want to deal with.
Tonight's the moment I know I'm going to find a way to bring Avery back in front of a camera.
The real question and the real problem that I think that Hollywood has is Hollywood is making their stories inauthentic in order to have more authenticity and to be more inclusive. The stories themselves are being compromised. And that, my friends, I think is the real problem in Hollywood.
Are you okay?
I don't know. In the behind the scenes footage, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I know it at the time.
Oh, no, 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 no.
We need to start looking at individuals. We need to start looking at for people that actually are on the ground and reporting the news, people who are actually paying attention, not people who are being paid by big corporations to report things that might be popular for a second, but destroy people's careers.
Today with social media, I raise myself up momentarily. I feel my ego momentarily if I put you down.
A bunch of pussies. Back in my day, if you wanted to tease someone, you did it to their face. There was honor, respect. These geeks hide behind their computers. What a bunch of spineless losers. You're not afraid of these losers, are you?
No.
Are you gonna take shit from these losers?
No.
Good, because when I'm done with you, you're gonna be sending a message back. Only it's not gonna be with your keyboard. It's gonna be with your fists.
Oh, 2020, you year of wouldas, couldas, and limbos of the maybe-sos. Yes, you made us look you in the eye and recognize. And now, as we stabilize, organize, and get on the ready to respond, we have to reveal and revive so we can testify. It's on you. It's on me. Green lights, baby. Let's go.
Say, kids, what time is that?
Tonight's Tuesday night!
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to Season 2. We'll call this officially Season 2 of Tuesday Night Mayhem. Let's introduce everybody before we get started. To my way is the one and only Lady GeekTime, Stacy Wilbur. How are you?
Hello, friends. I'm awesome. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just below me, back from Modem Hell.
Yeah.
2020 had one last dagger for you, huh?
It did. I had to get a whole new cable modem to headache. It was a headache.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I'm glad to be back.
And I obscure your name with balloons. You're the one and only Peter Bradley.
I am.
You'll just have to take my word for it on that. And next to Pete is our returning. I mean, Jeff Shaw, where have you been?
I've been around. I'm back.
He's back. Captain America is back.
I'm here.
Welcome. I hope you have fun tonight. We got a lot to cover. We will have a special guest at some point tonight. PJ from Orville Nation YouTube channel will be joining us. I'm looking forward to that. So welcome to any of his audience that might be watching us right now. And we'll save the story that we were going to cover for him to come along, because we teased it in the open. The very first video clip was from his channel, and it was a show he did just before, it was actually after Christmas, before New Year's, where he had Sirach Lofton, who played Jake Sisko on Deep Space Nine on one of his streams, and
Very
Jake
cool.
dropped a little. Jake dropped a little bomb about Avery Brooks. So
Well, let's just hope that PJ shows up, because I'm curious to know what this bomb is.
It's pretty interesting, and it goes way back. Believe it or not.
Really?
That's the shocking part. It goes way back. But I'll leave it at this for now. We've heard over the years that Avery just has no interest in acting anymore because he's a professor and he's a jazz musician, and he's just not. That's totally false. He would come back if the opportunity was given to him. So there's interesting. It's interesting, and PJ can fill us in a little bit more because he clearly knows more than I do. So, but it was really cool. And it's really cool that he had Sirach Lofton on one of his live streams. That is really awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And what's cool is we ended up with him as a guest because somehow on New Year's Eve, Edson and I did our football show, and then I was ready to log off, and my little notification popped up that Doomcock was streaming. And I was like, well, why not? I'm ready. I got nothing else going on anyway. So I popped on his stream, and we're like, right when I got there, Doomcock says, hey, if I'm bringing people in tonight, if anybody wants to be on, send me a direct message. So I did. And 15 seconds later, he sent me a link, and bing, bang, boom, there I was. So, it was cool. Cool.
Nice.
Good guy. Thank you, Doomcock.
Yeah.
If you're watching, if you watch this later, thank you. That was really awesome. What a great way to start 2021. I can speak really well.
Like the first time every time.
There's a first time for everything. This is true.
And we do it every week.
We're so polished. It only gets better. So let me see. I gotta reshuffle the deck here a little bit. I'll start. You know what, Pete?
What's that?
There's always something for you.
Oh, yay!
Oh,
whoa. In another dimension.
That's cool.
Like we're going through the TARDIS here.
Wow.
Today's my first day. How did that happen? Did I click the wrong thing? I clicked the wrong thing. There. That's
kind of cool to watch.
All right. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
That was cool. We can do that again if you want. We can go on a little quantum leap.
Look at that.
Just transition with that every time.
I should, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, you can't see over the balloons.
Should I take those balloons down, Pete? Are they blocking your view?
Well, they're kind of blocking me a little bit.
You've got that down. See, I can't even point in the right direction. You made it look like you're really stuck behind those.
I'm
impressed. He's a puppeteer. He gets.
Yeah, I used to be a puppeteer.
He knows what he's doing.
I wiggled dolls for a living years ago. But anyway,
that out of context would be really creepy. But anyway,
that's why I said it. So yeah, what's this? Yeah, Jodie Whittaker is supposed to be out now. They have said this a lot of times before, but this time it looks like it's going to stick.
Well, this gets interesting. So the Mirror dropped this, I guess, yesterday, and then like the Sun picked it up, and Daily UK, and all of them piled on. And she basically, let's see. So the 38-year-old has told bosses she intends to stick to the traditional rule of leaving after 3 stints in the TARDIS, like the majority of her predecessors.
Yeah.
One insider said it's all very hush-hush, but it is known on set that Jodie is leaving, and they're gearing up for a regeneration. Okay. Except here's the problem. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chinballs is going to be there.
Right.
I'm sorry, Chibnall.
Right.
Is going to be there. He's the one that's driving the ship right into the ground.
Right. He certainly is. Then this comes out on Sunday. The Mirror ran a report that Whittaker would be ending her Doctor Who run at the end of the upcoming 13th season of the popular series, citing insiders who claimed her departure was hush-hush and top secret. However, Whittaker herself has recently indicated the opposite in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, which is not weekly, by the way. It's monthly. And they should either rename it Entertainment Monthly or Entertainment Wokely. because holy crap. Ugh. Anyway, Whittaker explained her sadness filming the holiday special due to the departure of Walsh and Cole, but that she's also considering anything outside her role as a doctor. As far as I'm concerned right now, I'm the doctor, and that's taking up everything of me as an actor, Whittaker said. And to think something beyond that, I can't put my head there, so I don't want to. So,
yeah.
Is this window dressing damage control?
I think it is. Because there was a rumor. There was a rumor not too long ago about her agent was saying that basically you are the face of a sinking ship, and the fans don't like you because of it. So if you want to save your career, get out. Like Daisy Ridley is the face for Star Wars. Basically, if you put a face to failing Star Wars, it's going to be her. You know, through no fault of her own, except she was in it.
Right. Here, I'm gonna help you out since you're craning your body to see around those balloons.
Thank you.
We'll be less festive for now.
But yeah, so apparently there was a rumor that her agent said, "Get out now." So
Yeah.
I think that statement was damage control. Plus, also, when was that interview done? That might have been done months ago, before anything was discussed.
Well, it says that she responded to the rumors, so maybe it was a recent interview. Maybe they interviewed her Monday for the next issue of the magazine, which they also have an active website. I mean, Entertainment Weekly is not just a magazine.
Okay.
They have a blog and all that crap too. So, I'm with you because we reported a while back that her agent told her to get off the show after the season, and that holiday special they did crashed and burned.
Yeah, it was. You know, I'm going to go against the grain and say it was better than a lot of stuff that they've been doing lately, but that's not saying much. That's like saying Revenge of the Sith is the best of the prequel series.
Right.
It's not very good, but it was better than the stuff they'd been doing previous. So, but yeah, it was very low ratings.
Is that because they brought back Captain Jack, or
they brought back Captain Jack? They actually had proper Daleks this time, but it still kind of fell on its face.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And the BBC continues to take on Water and Sink. I mean, if this show torpedoes the BBC, does that get rid of Chris Chibnall for good? Is he gone?
Very likely. I mean, if they finally realize that, hey, you're not putting on good programming and people are canceling their subscriptions, at some point they got to realize, after they're underwater, probably, but they have to realize at some point that they have to change gears.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing stories all over the place that the BBC's they're shocked and appalled that this is going on. They can't understand why. I don't know. It's mind-boggling how these entertainment corporations and studios can sit there, fail after fail, and just keep doubling down on the fail. I mean, it's just pretty obvious. Look at the reaction to Luke Skywalker in the last episode of Mandalorian, and then yet we get the High Republic. It's just, what are you doing? I'm just saying. I'm just here. We're just philosophizing. We're trying to figure out what the dealio is. We're trying to understand the entertainment business that makes no sense whatsoever.
I got nothing.
I got nothing with you.
I mean, it's the entertainment business.
Exactly, but they seem to
think that they want to make money. But I don't know.
There are some stories coming that lend credence to some of that thinking. So, but first we got to get into some bad news. I'm sorry to start 2021. Bad news. We've had some good news lately with our favorite properties. I mean, if this Jodie Whittaker, boom, that's good news, right?
Absolutely, it's good news.
Luke Skywalker, bang, good news. Cobra Kai, boom, good news. These things are positive. But with all good things, there also must be, as we learned from Wonder Woman in 1984.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that.
Where it must be.
I'm sure that was a lively discussion.
There's more coming. So, Star Wars actor Tom Kane, who does Admiral Akbar and Yoda on the Clone Wars cartoon, had a stroke.
Oh no.
Yeah. Right before the new year, December 30th.
Oh man.
2 months ago he had the stroke. It was announced on December 30th. So he had a left side stroke that gave him right side weakness and damage to the speech center of his brain.
Oh man.
He makes his living with his vocal cords. That's just
rough.
awful.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so Star Wars fans came together and sent out well wishes and what have you, but that sucks. Hopefully he recovers.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to go to Miyagi-Do and train his brain. Another one. This is a friend of mine, Jeff Carlson, who played Jeff Hansen on the movie Slapshot. He's right here on the right-hand side of the frame. Yeah, right hand side. Everyone remembers him. He's in a world of hurt himself, and he's got stage 4 cancer. It looks like he's had a couple surgeries based on that photo. Dave here on the far left, Dave Hansen let me know. It was right around Christmas time. He emailed me and told me about the GoFundMe. I put some money in. I haven't talked to Jeff. He's not really talking to anybody. He did talk to Dave. Dave emailed me again and told me that Jeff is stunned that people care about him. They originally wanted 10,000. They blew by it. They blew by the 20,000 goal. So, I was developing a television show with these guys about 7 years ago for NBC, and Jeff was the most humble guy. He's who he is? He's like Johnny Lawrence. He's simple. He lives in the past a little bit. He doesn't like technology. He doesn't get it. He doesn't care. He's a hockey player. And he was just the nicest guy and just a sweetheart. And Dave told me that he's just beside himself and can't believe people like him enough to give him money to help him, which is really, really nice. So,
Is there, you might have already done it, but is there a way that we can kind of share the information for that GoFundMe? So if anybody else is watching, wants to pitch in and give something to him, they can?
That is a great idea, Jeff. Let me grab the link and I will put it. Let me copy this link. God, it's long. I should go to.
Keith, check the comments real quick because yeah.
I think even fringe hockey fans know the Hanson brothers. So
I don't think you have the calendar invite. Okay. Yeah, let me give you the link here. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
Okay. This is kind of a random spot to stop and talk.
Really.
What you got? Oh, you're squished by the balloons again, Pete.
I'm squished again. But yeah, this certainly is a downer way to start the year.
Yeah,
strokes and cancer and
balloons in the way.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, let me put I'll put the link in the show notes for sure, but I'll put it in the chat as well for people. So yeah,
I think if we can use the social media platforms to get that out, also we can really.
I have been on Twitter and whatnot, and Jeff's a kind of private person, but he's fighting for his life right now. So enough's enough with being coy. So, and then of course we lost Dawn Wells from the Coof the day before. Marianne, she was my favorite. I gotta say.
I think she's a lot of people's favorite.
I think she was everybody's favorite.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
so she's a cutie pie. She had that girl next door thing, and so yeah, she got the Coof, according to her publicist. So what a shame. And no? There's one more, and this happened on Sunday. I saw when this came out in real time, actually. So Tanya Roberts, and this one's kind of weird.
Yeah,
she was dead, and then she wasn't dead, and then now she is dead. So
yeah,
I was sure.
She was walking her dogs on Christmas Eve. She returned home and collapsed. taken to the hospital, put on a ventilator, and never got better, and it was not COVID related.
Wow.
She
Yeah,
died.
urinary tract infection.
Is that what it was?
That's what I read in like an article from People said she like had a urinary tract infection that spread.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. I just saw that
Yeah.
actually.
She still looked great for 65.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many of those face altering surgeries she went in for, but it's a shame. Just we're getting to that age, gang. We're about people who are watching are saying goodbye. They're bidding adieu.
Mm-hmm.
Shuffling off to the mortal coil. Should I take those balloons down for good? Let's pop the balloon. Pop the
Please,
balloon.
thank you.
Keith, did you see the chat question? I don't know. Just share it in our chat.
From PJ.
From Orville?
Yeah, I sent him the link. That's why.
Okay, good. I thought you did, but I just wanted to double check, make sure.
Yeah. I guess he wasn't getting the Google calendars, so
You did two things at once there, so I wasn't really
I was really
multitasking.
what they call multitasking, which I'm really kind of bad at usually.
Nah.
Yeah, no, it's true. He's probably going to
You
be
can barely talk and walk at the same time. It's hilarious.
You know how many concussions I've gotten from walking in the walls? I'm afraid to go to the next story because if he's going to pop in, it's a beefy one, and I know Jeff would want to sink his teeth into the next one too. So I'm going to give him a few minutes to join since he was looking for it. Actually, let me tell him where I put it. I sent it to him on Twitter. Check reader DM. So, PJ, check your Twitter. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hey guys, sorry, I didn't get the memo. It's my fault.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I usually put it at the bottom of the Google Calendar, but if you didn't get the Google Calendar, then you got nothing. I got an echo. Did you
Yeah,
sorry.
me too.
My bad. Hold on one second.
No, that's actually that's. Don't blame yourself. That's a mystery problem that we have yet to figure out.
It happens every once in a while. We'll be going fine, and then it's like when new people join, we get an echo right away, and then it goes away.
That's weird because I have headphones in, so I don't know. I was hearing I had the echo, but I don't know any of you guys. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Let me introduce you. So, to my that way is Lady Geek Time, Stacy Wilbur. Is she frozen?
Okay.
She froze.
No, I'm not frozen.
There you are. Okay.
I gotta
You
make
did
nice
froze.
faces in case I do. I've got to keep smiling because I don't want some weird awkward thing.
Next to her is Captain America, Steve Rogers.
No.
Nice to meet you.
His name is actually Jeff. Below him is Pete Bradley.
Hello.
Hey, Pete.
And you are Orville Nation, PJ. Thank you.
Very cool.
Well, thank you
But
for
first
the
of all,
invite.
thank you so much for coming on. That was
Yeah, thanks.
really quick. I was telling everyone the story that I offered it up, and you were like, "I'll come Tuesday." I'm like, "Okay."
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm
So-
excited.
Talk about your channel a little bit. Tell us what you do, and
So we're an Orville focused channel, but we talk basically like Orville and a lot of other sci-fi. So we talk a lot about Stargate, Star Wars, Star Trek, and we dabble in other things too.
Fun.
so I gotta ask you because you sent me the link to your stream from just before New Year. How did you get Ciroc Lofton to come on?
Oh, I do. I do associate production for them.
Nice.
With them, on the seventh Rule podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had never had him on before, but it was great. We had a great session, and yeah, he said some really interesting stuff.
Yes, he did. I clipped it out and put the meat of it in the intro video, but I wanted to wait for you to come on to talk about that.
Are we all Trekkies here, or pretty
Yes.
much?
Yes, and I love DS9.
Oh,
I always
absolutely.
take the original and put it in its own container because without the original, none of the other stuff happens. But that said, DS9 is my favorite of the shows.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and I'm a huge Avery Brooks fan, and we've all been fed the line over and over again, that he's not interested in acting anymore, and that's why he's kind of gone away, and he doesn't want to be involved. But apparently, that's not true.
Now, I heard some of the gripes that Sirach talked about, but I thought that everything, like you said, I thought that he wanted to be away. Like that was the real reason that he wanted. Like he just didn't want to, he wanted to do something else. So,
yeah, the DS9 documentary. I know he declined that, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, David, the producer of that and director of that.
Ira Stephen Bear?
No, of the DS9. The director of it was David. It's like Saponi or something like that. I can look him up, but he recently did a podcast, a guest spot on the Inglorious Trexperts podcast, and he said that Avery didn't want to do the documentary, and I'm wondering if it's that he just doesn't want to be
Dennis McCarthy. No, that's not right.
Like a bitter guy, based on the fact that he's not being offered actual acting jobs. Because I think that was the documentary is probably the only thing he's been offered in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. So last week we covered this rumor about how Kurtzman's threatening to ruin the rest of the captains now. And I said he'll never get Avery Brooks. And based on the idea that Avery just doesn't want to do this anymore. I could have been completely wrong now as it stands.
What is this dated?
Let me put it back up. It was we did it last week. It was dated December 22nd. Bounding Into Comics reported it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a new rumor suggests that Picard is building toward a crossover episode featuring all of the captains. And I said, well, Shatner will do anything for money, but I don't think they'll get Brooks. And that to me, that would be the sticking point. But who knows? I mean, if what Sirach said is true, then
he might not. I mean, he might not be on board with New Trek too. That's another question.
Oh, right.
So
yeah, yeah, that is.
I don't know how you guys feel about New Trek. And by the way, can you guys tell me what your you each have a channel, right?
No, they're all part of this one.
Oh, you guys are all doing it together.
We're all a big old Borg collective.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah. So when I decided to do this, I just rounded up all the nerds I knew in the area and said,
cool.
"Who wants to do this?" And it's interesting because we had a large crop at the beginning, and they're slowly picking and choosing their spots. So, or not. So, but it's to each their own, and it's fine. So how long have you had your channel up?
So my channel, I put it up, a year and a half ago.
Wow.
And I've been working on it, really working on it kind of for a year.
Wow.
So like you and I were talking in the chat before, there are shortcuts. I can, and it doesn't mean you buy subs or anything like that. There's ways to cut that time in half, like I said. So.
Right. Yeah, I've Googled ad nauseum trying to find shortcuts, and the big warning that comes up every time is just don't pay for fake subs. It's just not worth it.
The best thing to do is really just find ways of doing guerrilla marketing. That's really the best way. Just unique and just. I took advantage of something that I knew about the. I don't know if you guys know what the Cameo app is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I knew about that before most people knew about it. So I started using it. And I didn't say where I was getting the shout outs from. So that was an interesting, just little experiment.
That's a good idea.
But there's other ways. It's just being innovative.
Right. Yeah. So I'm actually finding lately hopping into the chats on the other streams seems to help. So, you start to, especially the other night when we were on Doomcocks, I was in comics divisions at the same time later on, and Tom Connors agreed to go on Doomcock's, and then it got to be close to the top of the hour, and Doomcock was going, "Where's Tom? Where's Tom?" And I knew he was in the other one, so I went over to the other one. I said, "Tom, Doomcock's looking for you." And Tom was like, "Oh, geez." Thanks, man. So he went over to the other one. Next morning, Tom had a stream. I went into Tom's chat, and he's like, "Hey, Geek Time, thanks for saving me last night. I totally forgot." So they start to see your name coming up a lot, so yeah. But I know it'll be a climb. I'm not expecting huge returns right away, and we're having fun with it.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun. So
yeah, if you have fun with it, the time will go by, and before you know it.
It already had I can't believe how quickly it goes by. And we always say every week, next Tuesday seems like a mile away, and then next thing you know, I'm scrambling to get everything together. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Crazy.
That's encouraging to know you started a year and a half ago, because
really a year ago, to be honest.
Wow.
It's only been 12 months that I've been working it. So yeah. One thing that we'll talk more. I can talk more about it off the off not on the live if you want.
So I don't know if you want to go into any more on Avery Brooks. Whatever.
Oh, I was going to let you. Oh yeah, on Avery. So we we kind of heard stuff like that before, but I think it. When I didn't expect. First of all, Sirach is always very conservative when he's talking live, and I didn't expect him to say some of the things he said. And it seems to me like my feeling is that there's a lot of frustration there, and Avery Brooks might have a lot of frustration there, and somebody who cares a great deal about him, in this case Sirach, might also be sharing in that frustration. That's kind of what I felt like after talking.
Yeah, that feeling came across watching it. I watched it again today, and you get the feeling that they have like a surrogate father-son relationship, clearly, that carried over from the show to this day. And I think you're right. I think that Sirach is starting to feel the clock's ticking on Avery. He's not a spring chicken anymore, and I think he's trying to get him back out there before it's too late. It's kind of how I felt.
I can't imagine that he's not getting, and I can't imagine that he doesn't get any offers. I would assume that he's not getting any offers worth his time. You would think he's getting something.
Yeah, probably low budget indies and things like that. Straight to video kind of stuff, straight to streaming. That one story that sticks out in my head is the one where he talks about he was hired to do a film that was right across the Paramount lot. And when he walked across the lot and got there, the guy thought he was Samuel L. I thought he'd hired Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't know who he was. That was really weird. Like, how do you not know?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? To be honest, some people attribute it a lot to racism, and there's probably a component there. But there are people who just have such a lack of people skills with everybody, and they will if somebody is going to come in and meet you, you should try to know who they are.
I would think.
I would try to help.
Yeah, that's like a good idea.
A little bit, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are people with big egos, and once you have a big ego, I think you don't give the people the attention they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, especially at the top of this, most of the most non-creative people are at the top of these food chains, and they just don't pay attention to what's going on. They're just looking at bottom lines and things like that. And where's the next power lunch? And who are they gripping and grinning with at what party next week? And that's all they really care about. So a rumor came up a while back that the Orville was going to be done. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's all BS. And there is this thing between Star Trek and the Orville. There's a group of there's a group of like Star Trek fans who are very, I don't know, politically. It feels to me like they're very politically motivated, and they've been putting out some false news about, and who knows where it's coming from? Maybe it's coming from somebody at secret hideout. I don't know, or whatever. Yeah, they've been putting out fake news about the Orville, like bad things about the Orville, and it's all it's baloney.
Yeah, I don't think it's any secret that, we've played a clip ad nauseum from Alex Kurtzman from this year's San Diego Comic-Con, where he admits, he said, this isn't about promoting Star Trek anymore. It's about promoting politics through the platform. And if that's where you're starting from, that's not very good. And it shows in the product. The product is abysmal. I can't watch it. It's not Star Trek to me.
Oh, it's dreadful.
Which one in particular?
I didn't actually watch Picard.
Oh.
Did you finish that thought, Pete?
I think you froze.
I'm
PJ
sorry.
was talking, so I was letting him have the floor.
Oh, which one in particular, Peter?
Oh no, I didn't actually bring myself to watch Picard. I saw the first episode and was pretty let down, and all I was reading was the reviews, and I hated it even then.
Yeah, I got 4 episodes into it, and I shut it down. 4 episodes in, I was like, this is ridiculous. We've got class warfare going on, with the woman in the trailer, and we've got Picard acting like a bumbling idiot who no one at Starfleet has any respect for anymore, and I pandering and apologizing for existing, and it was horrible. And same with Discovery. I didn't get much farther than that into Discovery. I'm the first couple episodes, I watched this woman start a war, cause a mutiny, kill her captain, and get promoted. I'm like, this is awful. This is just bad. I mean, it looks beautiful. There's no doubt all the money's going to making it look beautiful, but there's nothing under the hood.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys a question, because I bring this up. I brought it up a couple of times. I don't hear anybody else talking about it. I think there is a real problem the way African American females are portrayed in New Trek. They are unreliable. They're insubordinate. I don't know. What do you guys think about that comment? Is it?
Yeah, I think the overall lack of Star Trek was built as kind of a military operation, and though it's not necessarily military, it kept that structure of hierarchy and command, and that goes right out the window in New Trek, especially in that cartoon, which was
God, yeah.
Get into that. The Lower Decks was awful, not even funny either. At least if it was funny, but you're right. I mean, what's her name? What was the character's name?
Mariner.
Mariner. She's rolling up the sleeve. She's got it unbuttoned, the whole thing. And there was one episode where the guy even said, button up your uniform, and she didn't listen to him. They're insubordinate. They're just the bestest ever.
Even Mariner's mom is insubordinate with one of the admirals in one of the shows.
Right.
One of the shows. It's
her husband, right? Was that? Is her ex-husband or something?
No, with a different admiral though.
Oh.
She was insubordinate with a different, a female admiral.
I have a news bomb to drop. I didn't finish that one either.
Me neither.
My time's limited, and I know it's good content to talk about and good content to do reviews on, but I can't. I'd rather watch something that I would like, at least a little bit. It was awful. It's awful. It's in that Cal Arts animation style that just adds to the cheap overall look and feel of the show. Just bad.
Why do all cartoons look like that now? They're so
Cheap
terrible.
Cheap and easy. So, and Seth MacFarlane is actually doing more Star Trek than Star Trek is, and I wake up every day and root for the fact that maybe today's the day Secret Hideout loses the contract, or some kind of a buyout, something,
Yeah.
We're always waiting for Sherry Redstone to step in and do something, but I don't know. I mean, they keep doubling down. I guess they're shooting. They're shooting the Strange New Worlds now, right?
Are they actually shooting that, or was that just really?
Yeah.
I was hoping that was just bullshit.
Do we believe
I don't know.
that?
I mean, they tweeted a picture back in December, I think it was, like of the sign in front of the soundstage, shooting in progress and the Star Trek logo. And I don't know.
I really hope not.
So when's the Orville season 3 due to drop? I've kind of been delinquent on that kind of news, and
they haven't given us a date. It seems like if they can get through filming without any COVID interruptions, it seems like maybe beginning of summer, but we don't really know.
So they're still shooting. They're not in post production then.
No, they're still shooting. They shot approximately 6 episodes. They shot almost half of the season beforehand, and a lot of people were asking, well, why don't you put out like half a season?
Right.
But apparently, like, it wasn't completely filmed, and then the order of what they shot was not necessarily the first 6 episodes. So,
gotcha.
Right, that makes sense. So, well, hopefully with things, knock on whatever this stuff is, Formica, we'll be the restrictions will start lifting and we'll start moving ahead and get this stuff going again, because it's been one frustrating 10 months now?
Mm-hmm.
10 months. That's just insane.
Yeah.
Can I ask each of you guys, what is your favorite Star Trek or sci-fi? Like, what's your favorite science fiction?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Okay. That's an answer.
That's me.
Mr. Rogers.
Stranger Things season 1 was awesome. I guess it's not really I was gonna say it's not really a sci-fi, but I would have to say Twilight Zone. Like, that's hands down.
Yeah.
I guess it is sci-fi.
That's a great.
That's a given. But yeah, for sure.
Up until recently, Doctor Who. Up until recently, Peter Capaldi said goodbye, and it kind of.
Wow, that's so strange. For me, it's Star Trek. It's hands down Star Trek. Twilight Zone's a close second.
Oh, it's Twilight Zone.
Cool.
Yeah. Nobody said Star Wars. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm converted to the Mandalorian, but
Jude, this is a very smart panel.
The original trilogy of Star Wars always has a special place to me. I'm still a fan. And also, like Twilight Zone, only the original run. Any incarnation they brought back has just been awful. So.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
You can't. I think you can't.
Black and white.
Yeah.
We got from Rob. Hello, Rob. Yes, we can. I think we can.
The original animated Star Trek. The original animated series,
I'm thinking that's the one he's.
Yes, if it's the 1973, absolutely. They're really well written too. A lot of them. It was.
You mean Below Decks?
Yeah, a lot of the same writers.
Yeah, it was technically kind of a season 4 of the original show. So, yeah. So, what do you got coming up, PJ?
Well, we're doing. Let me see. We're doing every Monday. We're doing Dark Matter Mondays. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Dark Matter.
Have not.
He's the Joseph Malazzi, one of the executive producers of Stargate and Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe, is the creator of that show, and he is with us every Monday. So that's what we do on Mondays, and I do something called Latchcom on I used to do it on Saturdays or Sundays, and hopefully it's going to come back next weekend. So
wow, awesome. Pretty active. You get some big time guests, huh?
The answer to that is the answer to that, and a lot of people ask me about that. The answer to that is leveraging and kind of just learning how to, like I started interviewing actors like right off the bat, and the actors I was getting were guys who were people who are in our community, like they're background actors, but they were there's a background actor, but they were background actors on the Orville, so and you start from there.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Interesting. I never thought of doing that.
And there's a lot of production crew that never gets the spotlight, and sometimes they're interested in, they're more accessible. So
yes, Rob, the animated Ghostbusters is very good. It's not as good as Ghostbusters 2016, though. I mean, come on. So we could dive back into this. Did you guys see this? Now, I'm not a gamer by any stretch. Never pretended to be one.
Yeah, me neither.
But I this caught my eye because it cracked me up. So, Top Hat puts out Cyberpunk Ghost Story, Sense, a ghost story, and you can see by the art, you can guess what happened next.
Oh boy!
So they get dinged up by all the SJWs, and then they issue this statement that they are not going to bend a knee, and they're going to put out what they want creatively, and it didn't basically deal with it, whether it's violence or sexual imagery or what have you. And then unleash the Twitter mob. They got piles and piles of death threats.
Hmm.
And they put them all into several tweets, 5 pages.
Oh my God!
And again, we laugh at this every time it happens. These so-called peaceful people who are looking for equal treatment for all, and look at the language and what they're saying. It's really mind-boggling.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just.
So.
Yeah.
I know how this all got started again. I mean, I know how it got started years ago, and it looked like we were finally going to get over it a little bit. And then a bad cop did a bad thing, and it just went. When did this start? May? Did that happen? June?
Yeah, it was April or May.
April or May.
And it's just gotten off the rails since.
It's maddening. It's infiltrating everything, and now it's to the point where if you're not on message 100%, you're out. I mean, we saw what happened to Letitia, right? We see what happens to Gina Carano. I'm drinking my Gina Carano tea again. Delicious, yummy Cara-Dune tea. It's I don't know.
I mean, what happened to choosing what you pay attention to? Like before, everybody had a voice with Twitter. If you didn't like a character of a show or a movie or a game, you just didn't watch it. You didn't play it. You didn't participate. How come everybody has to call everything out for whatever they feel is not fair, what they don't like, what they disagree with?
I think for some people it's a full-time job to do that. It's just.
I think you're right, but I mean, I think that the way things are right now, they're doing a good job of trying to make sure that everybody gets represented. So, yeah,
we've always had it though. I keep going back to in the 80s. Look at the biggest entertainers in every genre. Look at movies like Coming to America. It's an all black cast. Nobody batted an eye. It didn't even dawn on me. It didn't even dawn on me until Az said that, and then I went and watched the movie again. I was like, holy crap, I never noticed that. Because it's just quality storytelling and it's funny.
It wasn't about that. Yeah.
It wasn't about that. It goes back to the clip I had of Robert Meyer Burnett in the open. Where he said that in your drive to represent everything, you are throwing story out the window, and that's the problem. And we talked about it earlier right here with PJ, the Star Trek stuff, the new Star Trek is abysmal for that exact reason. And when the showrunner says at San Diego Comic-Con that it's not about Star Trek anymore, it's about getting his politics out there, using the platform. That's
They have whole channels dedicated to politics. If people want to do that, they should just jump on there. You know
how insulting is that to fans? Because I think we watch these things to get away from politics and get away from the real world and get away from what have you. We want to immerse ourselves in this world that, the story is what draws us to it. And when you water that down, you just lose quality. It's insulting to your fan base. Getting back to that character, what was the main issue that they had? Was it how she was dressed, how she was drawn? To this day, Laura Croft is like some wonderful.
Did you see the size of her chest?
Hey, some people look like that. That's the real thing.
Yeah, but they
give it to women with big boobs now. You can't have big boobs. It's like that.
Yes, because you're over sexualizing.
Well, remember, it was only a few weeks ago when somebody had a fit because a female Mandalorian had female Mandalorian armor
that fit their bodies appropriately.
That fit their bodies appropriately, and that.
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer either, but isn't that kind of how female characters are usually drawn in those types of games? Go back to like the original Tomb Raider, like the Lara Croft game. She's still seen as like this ultimate female badass, but she's kind of drawn the same way. Nobody had a problem with that.
Well, you look at all the anime and manga and all that stuff. They're all
they're all 12 years old and they've all got triple D's.
That's just disturbing.
Wasn't the Mandalorian issue like I don't remember, but the person who said it, it almost seemed like they wanted the female Mandalorians to look like a guy. But
it was it was that woman. I can't remember her name now. I'm drawing a blank, but she's always like throwing gender rocks through windows.
Yeah, but like it's funny. Even her audience was complaining about that being so ridiculous for her even to comment on it. Hey, Edson.
Hi.
Edson Gomes joins it. What's going on, man?
Hello.
We're just talking about the Cyberpunk ghost story death threats that Top Hat got because they said that no matter what you want, we're doing what we want. We're not going to compromise our creativity for your politics.
Actually, I respect that of them.
Oh, so do I.
That's how it should be. You're creating a form of entertainment, and you shouldn't bend the knee to the Twitter mob.
That's for sure.
That's the part we can't figure out. And I don't know if you talk about this a lot on your show, PJ, but what is it about studios and corporations bending a knee to a really vocal minority? A really small audience, but they're very loud on Twitter. Yeah. Why do they have so much influence?
Right. That's a good question.
That's a good question. The why, I don't think we don't really get into the why. I tend to ignore a lot of the controversy on my channel. I know a lot of people get a lot of clicks from it, but I tend to ignore it. So I'm not really too concerned about the why. There's definitely a lot of politics there. And there's definitely a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I'm sure none of us really know what's going on for sure. But I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me because it's very small cross-section of humanity. Twitter's not the real world. I like to play these clips from Bill Maher where he's like, you're not for the outside world if you think that. But for some reason, they complain and they get action taken. It's really weird. And then you look at like the fan base that scored one minor victory with Zack Snyder, despite all their yelling and screaming. And it's kind of weird how the reactions are so immediate to the people who are triggered. And yet the people who just are asking for quality, asking for fun entertainment, get crapped all over and treated poorly. You see employees from Lucasfilm taking shots at people.
How dare you want your entertainment to be escapist?
It's really bizarre. And people at Marvel Comics or DC Comics attacking their customers. and with no consequence. It's just bizarre to me. Just bizarre.
I think what's unfortunate is when there are legitimate gripes here and there, and I think those get totally, covered up by all this the noise of everyone complaining about every little thing that doesn't really affect anything. That's the unfortunate thing.
It's a weird echo chamber on Twitter, and it's so bad that if you go in there and you try to look for positive stuff on Star Trek or something, you have to sift through all kinds of garbage first. It's really unbelievable, and you go to the trending and it's all negative. I don't know. Matthew McConaughey did a podcast with Russell Brand a couple weeks ago, and I insert little pieces of that a lot in our opening video, and he's almost as befuddled as we are. That this idea of social media currency, it's like money. The thumbs ups are money, and the subscriptions or the follows are money, and it's weird. It's really
it's
weird.
Such a small part of the population, like you said, but they make the most noise. It's almost like if they sleep at all, the minute they wake up, they're on there, and until they go to bed, and they make that much impact because they're always on there. And it's like they probably just get everything for free. They don't have to go to work or anything like that, and they spew out the hate at every chance, every direction.
I was going to say, I would say a lot of them are bots, but they're not bots because most of them are blue check marks, which means that they're verified because they have so many followers.
Right.
Yeah.
There's actually, it's a little off topic, but it goes along with it. There's people that they are monetized to tweet, and they're supposed to be outraged at whatever topic it is. And there's people that go on there, and their whole online persona is to just tear apart members of whatever political party. They're political people, and every day you go on there and you see tweets of them destroying people for no reason. And I find it strange that all these people are kind of famous and have a voice on Twitter. They're all negative. They never say anything positive in the other direction. Like, you only get the Twitter currency if you're just cutting somebody down and being negative and outraged.
Well, and that's the truth. And these are people who don't buy comic books, or they don't buy these movies. They're just there to attack it. They're not consumers of these products at all. They go on there, and here's a perfect example. This one popped up the other night. Greece. God,
it is a little sometimes.
And it turns out, so I saw this. I forgot who, maybe it's Yellow Flash or somebody put this up. And I just retweeted his tweet about it and laughed. And then someone responded to all of us and said, it was only 4 people on Twitter that said that. And then then you get Daily UK goes and prints it. And that's how it starts. That's how it works. The tabloids grab 4 tweets and turn it into a giant story about, cancel Greece. This idea about censoring and canceling old movies, it's like, they were made in a different time.
Exactly.
Just deal with it. I mean, when I was a kid, the mantra was, if you don't like it, turn the channel.
Yeah.
What happened to that? What happened?
Everyone has a chance to decide whether they want to watch it or not. It's not, no one's shackling you in front of the TV or.
Yeah, I remember that being the big argument, the big counter argument when there was that mom that wanted to cancel Married with Children because she thought it was inappropriate for her kids, and there was a huge outrage, a counter outrage, basically, don't watch it, turn it off, don't let your kids see it. But now it's. No. It's no longer simple times.
Well, but you're right, but especially now you could say turn it because you have so many other avenues. I mean, we're not living in a time where there's 3 channels available. It's like you don't have to watch whatever you have. There's many options to watch it. It's like people just don't want to take responsibility for their kids or for their own actions.
I think it goes beyond like just thinking something is negative or bad for your children or for whatever reason. It's more a matter of now they have this social, righteousness about it, so they can just complain about that, not about whether they're watching it or not. It brings it to a whole other level. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's not just about like this is bad. Okay, don't watch it. It's like no, this is bad for everyone. It's bad for society.
Yeah, there's a few people that want to decide for everyone what
exactly
should be right. Yeah, that's right on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go watch some good, wholesome GeekTime Network.
There you go.
No, Edson, you kind of said what I was going to say, that back then it was easy to turn the channel or go find other things. Now you're assaulted from everywhere. You know, you have access to media on your phone, your tablet, your streaming stick, it's every time you turn around, it's too easy to get to this stuff. And I think people who are concerned about vile content they know that it's propagated everywhere. It's much easier for a child or whatever to stumble on. So, you know, I'm not here to profess that I have any of the answers. But I will say that this whole idea of cancel culture needs to stop, and using identity politics in our entertainment has to stop. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. It's gotten me so punch drunk that watching Cobra Kai, the slightest hint of it, I started going, oh no, there it is. Ah, here it comes.
Because you think it's going to go that way.
Right. Right.
At what point does it start to swing back the other way? Because how watered down is everything going to get? How much of the story is going to sacrifice for these things? You know, at some point, nothing's going to be worth watching.
I think someone should take the risk, invest the money, and make Cancel Culture the movie or SJW the movie, and have everyone dressed in gray and just sitting around looking at each other and not saying anything offensive.
Like the episode of The Simpsons.
And do that for 2 hours, put it out, and say, this here you go.
No one should be offended by this.
Actually, you shouldn't be looking at each other because you got to avoid the male gaze.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, but Stacy, you brought it up a couple weeks ago. You said you were watching that South Park from 20-something years ago.
Was it 99, 97 or 99?
The non-discrimination holiday thing.
Does anyone offended by the star? Oh, well, I'm offended. No reason. Okay, get rid of the star.
So they had that weird Christmas play where nobody did anything. They kind of marched around and went, right?
Everyone was offended by everything. That was just it. It was so perfect. I mean, it just fit. Now they're still ahead of their time.
I dare a studio to make, you know, SJW or what would you call it? Politically correct the movie, and just do that. Just do it. Just give them what they want.
I think people are fighting back. I think the people like stand-up comedians are the people that are going to lead the march to like, you know, common sense again. Like, I think because the really strong ones aren't backing down. They're still putting it out there, and I think they just need to keep it up. And people like us need to support them and say, yeah, you're speaking more for us. You're speaking for the majority when you're, you know, being crude occasionally or like whatever. It's a joke. You know, like find some humor and get past all that cancel culture.
I've noticed that Bill Burr has been really vocal about that. He has a couple podcasts, and obviously in his shows, he kind of addresses that. And he says he gets called out all the time. People,
absolutely.
He's like, man, it's a joke. Like, just laugh.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, Chris Rock has said over and over he can't do colleges anymore because his act has, 5 minutes into booing him and throwing things at him.
I know. I saw an interview with Bill Burr the other day, and he was saying they did some kind of weird like comedy concerts this summer, like in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And then he did the thing, with the Dave Chappelle thing, and how no one had phones. He's like, so he felt free, like he could say really what he wanted to say because no one's going to record it and then play it back out of context and attack him for it, So that's where we need to go. And I think people like that, they are the people that we need to kind of get behind and keep it going.
Yeah. And, I just want to put it out there so people don't get the idea that we're haters or whatnot. And, we're like from another time, even though, I mean, come on, look at our ages. We are from another time, but no. I was raised on Star Trek. My stepdad was from Mexico. I've always been part of that whole diverse culture.
Absolutely.
But it has to happen organically. You can't just ram it in. Like they're trying to make these mandates that only Asians can have Asian roles and only Latinos can have Latino roles. And it's just stupid. Or they can only write for that and they can only produce. It's just, come on,
man. Actually, Bill Burr talked about that too. He said there was a movie, I think, that Bryan Cranston was cast to play like a quadriplegic. And they were all outraged at it. They were like, well, why wouldn't they actually cast a quadriplegic? He's like, well, that's called acting.
Exactly. Right. I know.
Name me one that will guarantee millions of tickets. I'll wait.
Thanks, Rick.
They just had in the remake of The Stand. Not that I've watched this because I don't have all CBS
I know.
to watch
I
it.
wish I could watch it.
But they just had that somebody come with the outrage over. There's a very important major character in there who's deaf and mute, and they didn't, of course, cast a deaf and mute person, and all of a sudden he's getting these hate letters. And why are you playing this character? Well, because it's acting. That's why. It's like
Yes, I know. There was a whole article with Viggo Mortensen, who I guess he's playing a role where he's like a gay man, and it's a kind of him dealing with his father, and he was like called out for not being gay, and he's like, wait a minute, he's kept his personal life very private. He doesn't
how would you know?
the world. How do you know I'm not gay? And that was his whole thing. I mean, I guess he has had like a on record like this, a partner who's a woman for whatever many years, but he's like, you don't know my business. Like,
right.
but it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't
like,
matter.
All
It shouldn't
acting.
matter.
They're acting. It's not like they're being, I don't know. It's out of control.
Last week we had the story of Gal Gadot doing Cleopatra, and she's being killed for that. And that's the other part. We see a lot that these people don't do their homework. And they're yelling at her that Cleopatra was black. No, she wasn't. She was Mediterranean.
Right. Yeah, where she which Gal Gadot was like perfect for, or Gal Gadot is like yeah. But anyways, I mean, Dead Horse.
Yeah, Dead Horse. We have a lot to talk about. Oh no.
This is Pete's favorite Dead Horse story. Good segue, Stacy.
Oh, you got
Ray
comment.
Fisher's back.
Oh yeah,
He's doing it again. This poor kid. What is he doing? Who's his agent? Who is his agent? Not saying, dude, shut up.
Well,
you're new. You aren't Ben Affleck.
All this says is great. Don't be in a DC movie. Now we don't have to worry about you. You're whining.
Didn't Walter Hamada say, "Well, that's great. We're not working with you either"?
Did he?
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't. Again, for people who don't know, the Justice League was his first major motion picture. He did a lot of little small stuff before that, and somehow thought he was given the right to complain about the script and complain about screen time, complain about whatever he wanted to complain about, as if he was Ben Affleck or Gal Gadot or Henry Cavill, but he's not. He's a rookie. He's new, and got him in hot water with Joss Whedon. Not that Joss Whedon is any saint by any stretch, and I think Joss Whedon was more to blame for what happened. But apparently, it escalated up to Jeff Johns and John Berg. But now he goes to head of DC Films, Walter Hamada, and says, "Yeah, I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm done."
Yeah. Well, bye. Does it say why? Because of the
He's here's his tweet, and of course this is the thing it's typical, I guess, of the generation, but he's aired all his grievances with Warner Brothers on Twitter.
So unprofessional. It just seems
very unprofessional and not providing a single detail. He just says, they were bad to me. They were bad to me. So he says Walter Hamada is the most dangerous kind of enabler. His lies and WBPR's failed September 4th hit piece sought to undermine the very real issues of the Justice League investigation. I will not participate in any production associated with him. Accountability is greater than entertainment. That's his little thing.
Right, but no specifics.
And this might very well be true, but we came from a different time. When I graduated college with my little communications degree, and I didn't go in and start telling people that I was going to be the head editor. I took the lowest job and I dealt with it.
Right.
And I scrubbed floors on my hands and knees and did whatever they told me to do on set because I was in the biz. I didn't care. This is entitlement, and I don't want to start dinging on the participation trophy generation again, but I was in higher ed and I've had interns and I've dealt with kids right out of college, and man, do they feel like they are entitled these days because they put in their time in school. And this is what this looks like to me. Did anyone teach this guy coming up that, you don't crap where you eat?
He might have missed it.
He missed the memo.
He missed the memo.
Get the memo. And what I learned, I remember when I was right out of school, I went to take a job as an editor or something. And the guy was shady. I'd found out he wasn't paying people and this and that. And I started telling other people that, but they were friends with him.
Ooh.
And they all got back very quickly that I had burned 5 or 6 bridges in one day telling people that don't work for this guy. You say that to Walter Hamada. Walter Hamada, he's head of Warner Brothers. Yeah, guess what? Head of DC Films at Warner Brothers. Now Universal, Sony, Paramount. Guess what?
Oh, this guy's career was over a long time
We
ago.
talked about Avery Brooks. We talked about Avery Brooks. This guy brought this on himself. The same thing's going to happen to this guy, and it's sad. He's young. He's
attractive.
Yeah, he is, and it's a shame. But
Does he have a legit reason though? Because I don't know much about it.
That's the thing. None of us do because he hasn't provided a single detail to either Twitter or the press. So
The thought is that basically when Joss Whedon took over for Justice League, he chopped Cyborg's character like down to nothing. And the theory is basically, he's upset because he was the focus character of the movie. And now he's nothing, and so he blames Joss Whedon for it, but he isn't taking into account the fact that there was that it was a troubled production to begin with, that it was over budget, it was behind schedule, and they had to do a patchwork job really fast, and he just kind of complained, they won't listen to me. It was jealousy with a halo.
Yeah, I think a lot of reports are that he was complaining about the script, and in particular what had changed about his character in the script. And Zack Snyder has said that his 2-movie version of Justice League centered around the discovery and growth of the Cyborg character. He was kind of in the center of the whole thing, and he just became like the other guy in the Joss Whedon version. And apparently, I'm guessing he complained to Joss Whedon a lot, and Joss Whedon, under a lot of pressure to save a $200 million movie, kept saying, "Shut the F up and get back on your mark."
Mm.
And he didn't like that because he saw Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck getting their way, so he went up the ladder to Jeff Johns, and he said Jeff Johns threatened his career, and I'm guessing Jeff Johns said, "This is your first movie. Just go downstairs and do what they tell you. Just stop." And he took that as some kind of a threat, and he ran with it. That's my theory, I think, is what happened here. And nobody has sat him down and said, "You are blowing yourself up, dude." And now this is it. I mean,
yeah, calling out this.
That's not a good idea. Jeff. I don't think. I could be wrong.
But he won't provide any real proof or any real.
That's the thing. He's never
any real bullet points for what happened. He just says they were mean to me.
And I guess he's mad at Walter Hamada because Walter Hamada said they commissioned an investigation to figure out what was going on. I guess the investigators called and he didn't take the call, or he hung up on them.
Hung up halfway through because he didn't realize that there was going to be an extra person on the call, so he hung up.
So he hung up. They ended up firing Joss Whedon. I mean, Joss Whedon's had to leave his new show. So I think there is something going on both sides. I don't think either party is innocent in this, but I do think that Ray's being very naive about where he stands at this current time in his career. I think he thought, "Oh, I'm Cyborg in the Justice League. I'm in a superhero movie. I've arrived." And
bottom line, I just think the way he's gone about it just is very unprofessional, and I think it's a very Karen-like behavior. You know what? You pissed me off. You aren't taking care of me, so I'm going to go Twitter this stuff and tell people about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to Twitter and complain so everybody knows. That's. I mean, whatever the issues are. Like again, he could be on the right. He's not in the right by approaching it this way. I mean, bottom line, it's very unprofessional.
And as a contrast, even recently we heard Gal Gadot had some issue that back then she said she solved it with him, and you don't see her constantly going on Twitter bringing it up. She solved it professionally.
Yeah.
We've talked about a bunch of times about how, people that get super political with their views and are putting it out there and they're, while they're out there trying to make movies and make money, and where half their audience will disagree with them. And it's like, why even go there? I mean, if that's, you know, if you want to get into politics, go get into politics. And like, you know, it's okay to have a view and whatever, someone's asked you about it, but when you're out there pushing it, you're going to alienate half of the people you want buying your whatever you're selling. And it doesn't make sense.
No, you're right. And it's back to the Matthew McConaughey thing with, you know, Ray Fisher clearly sees the Twitter as currency. The Twitter, like getting the Twitter mob is currency to him. Mm-hmm. It's in a way, you know, social media has corrupted your sense of your ability to have common sense is gone. Mm-hmm. Like you go into these white hot rages and you spew this shit out and you hit send and it's out there. It's gone. Even if you delete it, someone screen captured it. It's there. It's out there.
Right.
And
I have a recommendation for
and
that.
common sense are gone.
Yeah, I have a cure for this. Everybody has notes in their phone, and I've done this myself because sometimes I get on a thing and I want to like go on Facebook and I want to write this like ragey like post or whatever, and I'm like, nope, not going to do it. So I write it to myself and I keep it in my little notes folder, and I never post it. It doesn't go anywhere. And I think
that's showing self-control.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You can't be doing that.
You're gonna regret it because we all have done some things that we wish we didn't say. But sometimes when you're all mad or whatever, I think it's just you shouldn't put it out there like that. But I don't know. Especially when your career's on the line, you know, like when.
Your pragmatism is why you are in the center square.
many years.
It's you're spot on with that. And you know, if you get a chance to see the McConaughey Russell Brand podcast thing, it's about 10 minutes long. It's on YouTube. You can find it. And you know, Matthew McConaughey is really, really astute, and he talks about how, you know, he's upset with the rest of Hollywood for acting like imbeciles on Twitter and alienating half the audience. He goes right into it. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Stop it! Stop it! Paying customers. Stop. Right. Nobody cares." And he talks about how this is why they're perceived as the Hollywood elite, and you know, it's insane. But speaking of actors who are causing directors grief, boom.
Is it him or is it the director? I don't know.
It's apparently it's him. We've reported in the past, I think before you joined us, Stacey, that he was asked to beef up for the role and he refuses to lift a weight.
Really?
And then they reported in the fall that he had COVID and they shut down the production for 3-4 weeks. Mm-hmm. And rumor has it that that's not what they shut it down because he wasn't big enough. So when they go to the stunt man, who's twice his size, it's obvious that what happened to Batman? He went from skinny to big.
Extra padding.
From one shot to the next. So I think Matt Reeves was trying to make it work back in the fall. And he said, this doesn't go home and work out for 4 weeks and come back. And apparently after the 4 weeks, he came back and he still hadn't lifted a weight. And he's been out about it. He put pictures on social media and stuff where he's like laying around drinking booze and going, he's like, I'm not working out. I don't care.
Why would he take that role? I mean, wasn't this like a
I know.
Because he wants to be like emo sensitive Batman, I guess. But so I think right now he's upset because Matt Reeves is like, and then there's been story after story through the fall that Matt Reeves was like at the end of his rope and he just wants to get this movie over with and out because it's a miserable experience because of this guy. I think Matt Reeves is pushing him hard now. And Robert Pattinson's like, I don't want to do this anymore. He probably thought he was getting a padded suit like Michael Keaton did.
Didn't he say? Didn't he say that?
Get in here.
Yeah, I'll swap places with Jude because I got to duck out. So.
All right, Steve Rogers. Sorry, PJ.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I wasn't watching you guys. I was looking up something.
Oh.
Didn't he say something like, what's his name? The actor who died so young.
Heath Ledger?
No, the Rebel Without a Cause. What's his name?
Oh, James Dean.
James Dean. Didn't he say like something like James Dean didn't have to be muscular or something like that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he wasn't playing Batman.
He wasn't playing Batman. Yeah.
Was he Batman? Yeah, it's like,
he was the rebel without a cause. He wasn't Batman.
Seriously?
And don't forget, this is coming on the heels of Ben Affleck, who
He's a big
tanked up to play Batman. That guy was boom.
So did Christian Bale.
And Christian Bale got nice and lean.
Oh my God, yeah. Well,
but
and for each role,
Affleck was just bulky, huge. You know, like He's throwing truck tires around, and I guess that workout scene in Batman versus Superman was just him really working out.
Yeah, him working out.
Yeah. Was it
nice?
Yeah, right. Batman the Machinist. That's what they're gonna have to retitle it.
Wow.
And it's a shame because apparently they're doing like Year One, Batman Year One, an adaptation of that, or it looks to be an adaptation of that mixed with The Long Halloween, which is my favorite Batman.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that story, and now, oh man.
Well, I still am. I think Matt Reeves is a good enough director. He did a nice job with the Planet of the Apes movies. I think he'll pull something out here. They might have to digitally enhance all the scenes of Pattinson. They might have to like just digitally bulk him up at this point, which will cost them more money. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But
I think he'll be a good Bruce Wayne, and that was my problem with Ben Affleck. I think he was a fine Batman, but I think he sucked as Bruce Wayne personally.
See, I disagree because the Batman he's playing was supposed to be kind of the one from The Dark Knight Returns, where he's older and he's kind of.
I know, but he did his Batman voice as Bruce Wayne, which bothered me. Like, it's just
he had the mechanical thing.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of got around the whole talking like you're gargling sandpaper thing by actually having a microphone in the cowl.
Okay, but it's kind of, I don't know. Christian, my Batman, I'm sorry, but that's just me.
So in October, Hollywood writer and director Gary J. Tunnicliffe, I think he was on Midnight's Edge back then. I think he was on one of their streams. Confirmed all the rumors about the trouble with the Batman, Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves, which at the time were said to be due to Reeves not liking how Pattinson showed up to the film not having worked out. All I heard is there was definitely tension between Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, said Tunnicliffe, that Patterson was being quite difficult to work with. The person I'd spoken to, they almost suggested the situation was that, because I said, I hear you shut down due to COVID, and they said it's not COVID that shut us down. And I said, oh, is it something else? I said, is it your lead actor? And they were like, maybe, laughing. It's a shame. This thing has been plagued with difficulty from the get-go. I had really low expectations until they showed the trailer at the DC Fandom. And at the DC Fandom, the trailer gave me some hope. It really did. Especially there's that one shot where he just pummels that guy. What's he say? He goes, who are you? And instead of saying I'm Batman, he says, what does he say? I'm Vengeance. And he just... Vengeance. Yeah, and he just clobbers the guy, beats him into submission.
The guy.
Yeah. And I think Jeffrey Wright will make a good Commissioner Gordon. And they're back to that, so they race swapped Jim Gordon, but that's something that's okay. Yeah. Well, it's fine. It's fine. He's a great actor and he's gonna be fine. He even looks just like him. So, when it serves the story, fine. But this will be interesting. I can't wait for it to come out because I really just want to see. And I hope it's not a Wonder Woman 84 situation. I really.
Speaking of the Batman,
you warned me about that, Stacey. You warned me.
I watched the trailer and I thought I was, I wasn't going to say it anymore to see it. Let's put it that way. And I was right to be concerned.
You were right.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Batman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have another Batman story.
Oh, we do. I got to find it, though, because I have these out of order. Hang on. Let me just jump through. Here it is. Yeah. So when did this happen? 2 nights ago, I think. Everybody's like, oh, my God, it's confirmed. Michael Keaton's going to play Batman.
Yeah. That's right. I saw this. Yeah.
And then they had to retract it. Michael Keaton's not taking over as Batman, which, I mean, I get it. He's like 68.
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun. It'd be a whole different take on Batman.
Apparently there was the New York Times is the one.
I'm Batman. I'm just gonna take a nap.
Hit his inhaler in between beating up criminals. So I guess the New York Times was interviewing this guy Brooks. A fan followed up and questioned the article Brooks Barnes on if Barnes meant 2 different acts. So the New York Times asked him. The Warner Brothers is going to be doing 2 different Batman franchises, one with Robert Pattinson and one with a new actor. Is that correct? or were you referring to Keaton as the second Batman being part of a non-Batman centric saga? And Barnes responded, Keaton. So that's what happened the other night. And everybody's like, whoa! Yours truly included. I love Michael Keaton. I was like, yeah! And then this happened. So apparently it's just back to what they said it was. He's just going to be in the Flashpoint movie, and that's it. That's it. So, oh well. Hey, you know what? Any Michael Keaton's better than zero Michael Keaton.
Oh my God! So remember when he was in his heyday? All those movies.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. I'll watch him.
Mom. That's Mr. Mom right there.
Mr. Mom.
Yeah, remember all the people how were absolutely outraged when he signed on, because it's like, oh, look at him, he's too small. He's going to make the role funny. He just come off of Beetlejuice, but
I love Beetlejuice.
Get your complaining out of the way. Same thing with race swapping Commissioner Gordon. Get your complaining out of the way, because it's going to happen. But as long as you've cast a good actor, shut everybody up. Old man Beetlejuice.
Imagine if social media existed back then when they cast Michael Keaton. Just imagine that. I'll be right back.
Anyway. Exactly.
Old man Beetlejuice.
I love that movie. That's such a good one.
So he is 68? I think did you say that, Stacey?
Is he 68?
No,
I think he is.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's about 68, I think, if you look him up. You know what I was one of the people who thought that was a horrible choice back in the 80s. But then I started to think about it too, and I'm like, well, I mean, they do it right, because Johnny Dangerously and things like that, he has a psychotic thing going on. Look at Beetlejuice. I mean, he does have an unhinged kind of a, and then when he did
all kinds of things,
Bruce Wayne looked like there was a screw loose, and I really like that.
He was you're right. He was unhinged in Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah. So, as funny as he was, he could do psychotic pretty well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when I was thinking about the character, and I'm like, well, he might not be the best Batman, but he might be a really good Bruce Wayne. And luckily, he was both. I think he was both.
You ever seen him in Pacific Heights?
Yeah, there you go.
Psychotic.
So long ago.
Right. Was that was after Batman, though, right? It was a year or two after. Yeah.
But it just shows his range, like his abilities.
Yeah.
He's a fargin' good actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
69. I just looked it up.
69.
Yeah.
That's criminal. There's no way.
Which is crazy because Val Kilmer is 61 and he did not do age well.
No, Mitch brought him to Terrificon 2 years ago. Was it the last one he did? Yeah, I think it was. Was he at the one you went to, Edson? Val Kilmer, was he there that day?
Yes.
They have a celebrity area at the con in the back of the hall. They just put all the celebrities in one area, like in a bullpen. Well, Mitch had to put Val Kilmer behind a curtain. And if you bought like a photo op or an autograph session with him, you had to go in one at a time in behind the curtain. He must have looked awful. And he just didn't
I've seen him in something not that long ago. Like I don't know, it was a photo. Oh, he looks way older than 61. Way. Like he looks almost like you can't even recognize him.
Does he have something wrong with him?
I don't know.
He's had cancer, I think.
Has he had cancer?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the medication would do that to you, like puff you up.
Because otherwise, there's no way he would look like that if you hadn't been sick.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that kid on Cobra Kai, Robbie, doesn't he look just like a young Val Kilmer?
I didn't agree with that. He had throat cancer in 2014.
Did he really?
Jeez.
See, that terrifies me because I have the bad reflux and I have to take pills for it. And that's how you get it from the esophagitis. Yeah.
But anyway.
Well,
wow.
It was fun for a week.
Back to 1984.
That didn't take long.
For a week. Yeah.
Even worse than Birds of Prey?
Yes.
Wow, really? I still haven't seen that.
IMDb gives it a 5.6 out of 10 with basically 91,000 viewer votes. That's lower than Birds of Prey's current score of 6.1.
Wow.
And Suicide Squad's 6.0.
Wow.
So it is
I
not.
haven't seen it. Is it that bad?
It's not great.
It's not good.
It's boring, PJ.
The story's
Wow,
really
Nothing happens, and the story's a mess.
It's not a good
And,
story.
but she does rape a man. So that's
It's a little rapey. Yeah, it's definitely a little rapey.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rapey.
If you think about it, I mean, it's you know.
Well, if it was the other way around, it'd be really.
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
I don't want to give anything away, but she has sex with a meat puppet. We'll put it that way.
That sounds really disgusting.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm sure if the guy knew, he'd probably think it was okay. But still, I mean, it doesn't make it right. I know.
Yeah. Well, there's a story coming up about that. So, yeah, it's a shame. I to be honest with you, I think Suicide Squad and maybe Birds of Prey are worse.
I think so too. But
Suicide Squad was a mess.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked because David Ayer's a really good filmmaker and I like his other stuff, but
That was all studio interference.
oh, clearly
Suicide
they panicked after Batman versus Superman tanked. They just
Yeah.
panicked and they.
Yeah.
That's why they lost their whole direction. They got rid of Zack Snyder, and they brought in Whedon to punch up Justice League and make it fun and goofy. And they took David Ayer's Suicide Squad and reshot and recut a bunch of that, and it's an incoherent mess. And
It's just a documentary of Harley Quinn's ass, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
well, yeah, they're like, okay, more Margot Robbie, and I'm sorry, but that Jared Leto Joker was the worst. That was the worst.
I thought it was very cartoony. Like it seemed very cartoony to me. But.
All-time worst Joker. It's not even close. Yeah, and then on the flip side, the first Wonder Woman movie is the highest scoring DC movie.
Okay,
it's a great movie.
7.4. Shazam and Man of Steel tie for the second at 7. So I loved Shazam. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I know. I watched it not that long ago. I really was like pleasantly surprised. It was good.
Most users, approximately 39,000 people who rated Wonder Woman 84, give it 5, 6, or 7 stars, and the score is on par with Green Lantern's 5.1.
Oh my gosh,
that is worse by a small margin, but Green Lantern's not in the DCEU. And let's give Wonder Woman more time. It's only been 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
here's the ratings chart. So yeah, and it's dropping on Rotten Tomatoes too. Wasn't it at like 93?
Something like that, yeah.
Released, and now it's down to 61 with the critics and the audience scores.
When you click it, like those are like the verified audience members. If you like look at just everybody, it goes way down.
Does it really?
It did when I first looked at it, like that.
Let's conduct an experiment in real time. I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, like if you click it, it was like quite a jump from verified user to all users.
I'm the worst. I need my daughter to type for me because she's 8 and she types like flawlessly. I can't type. I'm a mess. I left it. Hang on, I left a letter out. Yeah. Come on, load. Wow, this is taking some time, so we'll continue to chat about Wonder Woman while we wait. Box office, Wonder Woman 1984 grabs 5.5 million domestically, global tops 118. So, okay, so it's been out, what, 10 days now? Ish?
Sounds about right.
25th, yeah, like.
So that's 7 plus 5, 12 days. This article was actually the 3rd, so it was 2 days ago, so 10 days.
Yeah.
It hit 16.8 million in the US week 1, so it dropped about 66%. And globally, it was at 85, and it went up to 118. It cost them 200 million just to make it. And that doesn't count the marketing and everything else. So they're going to lose a couple $100 million on this bad boy. But to me, this number is encouraging, honestly. You have 60% of theaters in the.
It looks like it.
Down.
That's only box office though, too, right? Because we have no streaming numbers.
Right. This is just theater box office. So to me, that's kind of encouraging to me because again, 60% of the theaters in the world are closed right now.
Yeah, and they're at the ones that are open are minimum capacity or whatever.
Right, and it's made over 70 of that million here, 73, 74 million in the U.S. That's without New York, Chicago, and L.A.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
They'll be showing it this summer, I think, in the theaters too. I bet you they'll keep it in the maybe might leave and come back. I bet that's what I think.
Yeah, it might. But so here we are.
There it is. Look at the details. Yeah.
Whoopsie.
And then look at
Audience.
Ooh. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Right.
And now we'll click on the. They should rename this Top Critics. They should name this one Paid Shills. Here we go.
Yeah.
See that?
Of course, it goes up.
Paid Shills.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yep. And what makes someone a verified audience like score? I don't know. Do they get stuff?
Probably like YouTubers that get gift packs from Warner Brothers.
Nice.
That go on and say nothing but good things. Yeah. People like Grace Randolph. Oh, it was so perfect in every way. So, yeah, not doing too well. It probably would have made 700,000, 800,000 million globally if it was normal times. I don't think. I mean, the movie is what it is. I mean, eventually, word of mouth, and you're not going to get repeat business. I'll never watch this thing again. So time would have caught the movie itself would have caught up with the numbers at some point anyway. I think at this point, Warner Brothers would just be happy to get the 200 to pay for the production and get out. And they already greenlit the third one.
Yep.
Which is so bizarre that they did that. I mean, a lot of times they announce things, they greenlit, like Mandalorian season 3 was greenlit before season 2 was done shooting, and they do that a lot. But they knew what they were getting here. I mean,
well, they might Gal Gadot might have it in her contract that she has to do a next.
That could be, or Patty Jenkins, or both. So
it'll be interesting to see who's going to write the third one, though.
Right. Well, Patty Jenkins, they need to take her pen away from her. She should not write ever again.
He's a very proven director, that's for sure. I think.
Yeah, she can direct.
That was.
And
whoever wrote the
apparently,
first one, the third one.
Apparently, Lucasfilm.
Zack Snyder was one of the producers.
On the
they
first
don't want it on the first one, yeah.
Well, and it goes back to the whole idea that Zack Snyder, love it or hate it, had a vision for all of these characters. And, they were chasing Marvel, so he quickly constructed a universe for them to have. And he had oversight on some of those early films. And when they panicked after Batman versus Superman, showed him the door. I mean, I know his daughter committed suicide and that whole thing, but I still think they showed him the door. And because they never had him back. They don't want to include him in anything new. They keep saying that there's no roadmap for him, even after the Snyder Cut's released. So I think they clearly just, removed him. And now you see, I mean, clearly they were like all caught up in the success of the first one. And Patty Jenkins said, I want to write the next one. And, okay, Patty, do whatever you want. Oops. Then I know Lucasfilm is already going, we signed her for what?
And now she's coming out with all these stories about how she, Warner Brothers, the studios got in her way, didn't want to, and it was like maybe it was a good reason why they didn't want your writing involved.
They probably got to a point and they just said, you know what, and they were probably afraid of getting Me Too'd or something,
right?
So they said, okay, have your way, and this is the result, and now they will write it all back in. It's a shame. I had high hopes for it. I was the one who believed in it. Stacy was the one telling me it sucked.
No, I didn't say it sucked. I just said I was super excited about it until I watched the trailer. And then I was a little skeptical. But I went in open-minded. I wanted to like it because I love the first one.
I kept saying to people too, I'm like, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. The first one was really good.
I was just afraid it was gonna.
You don't have to backtrack. You were vindicated on that one, Stacey.
I know, but I don't want to think something sucks. I like to think that they're going to be good, and I'm hopeful.
Yeah, and again, it's not like incompetent or horrible. It's just not good. It's just not
at
good.
the level you would expect it to be, because the first one kind of set the bar, and you kind of have high expectations. And
well, and like I said last week, I mean, you go back and look at the first one. the cinematography and the
beautiful. It's
wire work, everything is awesome. And then this one looks like Power Rangers bad.
Yeah.
It looks like a CW show.
Wow.
So apparently, she removed that Zack Snyder. I didn't have a chance to read this.
Don't know what this is.
I think she's looking for I don't know what she's looking for, but with Wonder Woman 84 being received so poorly by critics and fans alike, the blame game will start to play out in the Hollywood trade sites such as Deadline and Hollywood Reporter. But while those are shill sites, are trying to spin things like Wonder Woman 84's success as an act of desperation, as is Warner Brothers by announcing Wonder Woman 3. The reviewers and fans know differently, as Wonder Woman Rotten Tomatoes score keeps dropping and the IMDb fan is at an all-time low. But Grace Randolph says that problems surrounding Wonder Woman 84 in that Patty Jenkins got rid of Zack Snyder in stunt and visual effects teams. And that,
great.
That says a lot.
It does.
Because that's really the visual effects and the wire work was so bad. I was watching World Class Bullshitters this morning, and he was talking about this, and he played back the scene, the truck chase, where she swoops in and saves the kids that are playing soccer in the middle of the street.
Oh, it was horrible.
Where she pulls a Spider-Man and except her rope's not attached to anything.
Yeah, she attaches the rope to a cloud or something, but when it slips out of her hand and she falls in the road with the two kids,
she slams on top of the kids.
It's clearly like it's a dummy.
It's like she's.
Oh yeah.
You can see that it looks like a CPR dummy hitting the ground. It's just like, it's so bad. That explains
overlooked that. I overlooked that. That's not what bothered me. Anyway.
Well, what bothered me was she landed right on top of the kids. So
that too
would have killed them. But
yeah. So Randolph's claims make sense, as most fans seem to be in agreement that Wonder Woman 84 script and story weren't any good, and the visual effects looked really bad. They did. All the opposite of what we got in the first Wonder Woman film, which is really a fan favorite. Right to the cinematography. Like, everything's like refrigerator lighting. Everything's lit. Like, there's the scene where they're walking near the Washington Monument, and like there's like a spotlight following them or something. Like, where'd that come from? You know, it was bad. It was like TV bad. So that makes a lot of sense. So, oh well.
Boy.
Again, love him or hate him, Zack Snyder has one thing.
What's so controversial about him? I don't like you guys talk about him all the time. I'm not even up on like why
his movies tend to be kind of dark, overbaked.
Oh, okay.
They're very long. All his movies are really long. He's got a style though. He's got a real style to him. Visually, they're just gorgeous movies.
Well, I gotta look. What movies did he do?
He made The Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. We'll see his Justice League soon. He made 300. What else? Yeah, so he's a very stylistic filmmaker. His scripts are kind of weak generally.
Okay.
But it's visual candy, and I think what happened with the DC thing is that he made it too dark. The Marvel movies there's a formula to the Marvel movies, and that's why they work.
Right.
They're all fun. They're witty. They have likable characters that have witty banter between each other, and
it's
they
colorful
don't.
And fun
It's colorful. They kind of go along with the Christopher Reeve Superman route, where it doesn't take itself so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It walks that fine line between like an epic tale and a farce.
Okay.
It just keeps walking that tightrope. The Marvel movies, but his DC movies were just like really dark. He's got a Superman who's unsure of himself and kills people, and
Gotcha.
So it just didn't resonate, and so they panicked and got rid of him when those movies didn't make a lot of money, especially the Batman versus Superman movie with Ben Affleck. So
well, I hear rumor and hearsay, PJ, that you are in Europe.
Yeah, I gotta head out.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I gotta wake up in a few hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
But I thank you for the invite so much.
Thank you
and
for
I'd
coming
love to
on.
come back anytime soon. And it was nice to meet all of you.
It's great
on
meeting
Doomcock Stream. Thank you so much. But you're welcome anytime. Drop a line. It was great to meet you, and we'll keep pushing people to your channel.
We'll be in touch. Thank you guys.
Thank you
Have
so
a good
much.
night and happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year. Thanks so much. So cool guy, man. Well, now we know where he is. He's in
I can't believe we're
Europe.
keeping him up so late.
I know. Yeah, he's 5 hours ahead, so he's at like almost 2 in
6
the
hours
morning.
ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a trick for having your guests with no technology problems. Have them overseas.
The further away they are, the better. It works. It works. better.
Right. Right.
Funny.
Whoops. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll do it again. What? I see what I did the first time I clicked the wrong button. So Patty Jenkins had to respond to the raping.
Oh, it's so funny because I was thinking that, and then you said something, and I was like, "Oh, it's so kind of rapey." Yes, and then
It's very rapey.
It wasn't just us; we weren't the only ones that noticed that, but figured that.
No, actually, all the YouTubers we follow are been
I
saying.
mean, I'm not mad about it. It's kind of
No, they're laughing at it. Everyone's laughing at it. See, unlike the Twitter mob and the SJWs, we don't get like offended. We laugh at it. We laugh at it.
Mhm.
But personally,
'Cause it's
God,
ridiculous.
she can come over here and rape me anytime
I'm
she
pretty
wants.
sure, like most guys would say that. I mean, a lot of women probably would say that too. You
Oh my
know,
God.
gorgeous. Like she's a beautiful woman.
But we're all laughing that like not only does she like have sex with a random skin, it's that throughout the entire movie she keeps putting his life in jeopardy too and doesn't think about that. Like she's just okay with like just stealing this guy's body.
He might have dinner plans. Who knows what happened? You know, it's just there's so many things that just.
It's supposed to be about that she doesn't see anybody else, but
right. But the fact remains that it's
I understand. Yeah, of
And
course.
the audience, the guy she loves in like mortal danger every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they live. That's not the point. Is not about.
Yeah,
Taylor
he
Banks.
was fine with doing, but the guy wasn't though.
Right. Yep. I understand.
you know, she stole someone's life away.
Yep.
Which doesn't make sense. All they had to do was just bring him back.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Steve's back. Bang. Steve's back. Why did
Yeah.
his essence go into some random guy's body?
Made no sense. You're right.
And the audience was okay with it and on board with it because we saw Chris Pine. We didn't see that guy's face.
Right. Yeah. So we kind of were looking at him.
Even me, when it first happened, like they're on the dance floor and the camera, it's that random guy walks up to her and starts saying Steve Trevor up to her. And then the camera kind of goes around. And when it comes all the way back around, it's Chris Pine. And I was like,
What
I was
just
kind of like,
happened?
wait a minute, what just happened here?
Right.
And then it started to dawn on me. I'm like,
Exactly.
holy
Just a second. Mm-hmm.
so she sees him as Chris Pine, but it's not Chris Pine. It's another dude.
Yeah.
What does Patty
I mean,
Jenkins have to say about that?
We're talking about magic. She could have just brought him back. It made no
I
sense.
agree, Edson. I think that would have been a lot less weird.
Very less weird.
Mhm.
So, I don't think they gave it a thought. I really don't think. I think when they were making this, they were just like, "Oh, isn't it cool?" Like she sees
She's a
him as-
god. I mean, she's a god. Like if you think of the gods, a god helped her out and brought him back, and he just appeared. Like that would it would have.
Yeah. There's magic and there's
I'm just
sword
gonna
and
stop.
sorcery.
Yeah.
There he is.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna stop on this image for a few minutes. Hang on.
Ah.
So she's stunning. She really is just like
It's like unfair.
it's totally unfair. She's like she is a goddess. She's not a human being.
Exactly.
So anyway, so where were we? Oh, the meat puppet. So I honestly think that when they were making the film, they didn't give it two thoughts. They were like, it's cool. Hang on. Congrats on the channels, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Great channel, great format.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's
Thank
still
you.
up
for-
giving us all these kudos. Good for him.
Our first YouTube friend.
Yay.
Yeah, it was awesome that he befriended me on Doomcock's chat there the other night. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, I don't think it dawned on them, honestly. I just think in the process of making the film, and they thought it would be really cool that, like, really like, almost like they were, how do I want to put it? Like they were trying to be more clever than their audience. Like, let's see if they pick up on the fact that like she sees Chris Pine, but it's not really Chris Pine. But sees because it's his essence. And not even considering the fact that, she's committing sexual assault.
It's funny because in the first one, like the sex scene was just they kissed, and then there was the exterior of the window, and then it was the next day. And this, they have them in bed, and it's like a whole like they didn't, they obviously didn't.
And it's like they're at a party, and she's like, "Steve, is that you?" "Yes." "Let's go, man!" Bang, bang, city. So. So Popcorn Planet's Andy Signor says, he shows up in another man's body. He's in this man's body, and it's clearly defined that he's in this man's body. No one sees him as Chris Pine. Somehow a living being who is already in the world just had his body taken over by Chris Pine's spirit. And this was confirmed by the end of the movie, remember, because at the end of the movie, he shows up a little disjointed. He's like a little bruised. He's just happy. He walks out, stumbles on Diana, who is then like smirking at him and begins to flirt with him. He continued. So then, I'll get to that in a second. So Signor then asked, what if they fail to sort of comprehend and what they fail to sort of comprehend and what the audience is ignoring? Think of all the things she just did to this poor man's body. Think about it. And then Diana proceeds to let's do it with this stranger. Another man's body who can't say, yeah, great, sign me up. Didn't have an opportunity to say, hey, what's up? They're in his bed. They're in his apartment. They're walking around. She just takes over a man's life. It's true. I mean, he's walking around when she's in the shower or he's looking at all the stuff on the shelf, like not really recognizing it. Now, Patty Jenkins has responded to the accusations. She took to Twitter to share a defense of the scene and how the body swap trope was used in Wonder Woman 1984. So I think this is total bull crap. She says, I guess, this is a Twitter user who's defending her, but basically, Patty Jenkins was saying that she was spoofing body swap movies like Freaky Friday and the lack of consequence that comes from that sort of thing. Right. Sure. Patty.
Yeah, they probably thought,
and you wrote,
this
and
is
you
what's going to make it realistic. This is what's going to make it realistic. So let's do this, because we have to get Chris Pine in the movie somehow. And I bet they didn't even think about it.
Yeah, this is bullshit. And I'm sure she wrote the first Wonder Woman too, right? So this guy basically goes along with it because that's what, that's what sycophants do. They just clap for shit. So my defense of Patty Jenkins in Wonder Woman 84's use of the body swap trope, plus a link to body swap movies wiki, linking respected people I follow. So whatever. Grace Randolph. There you go. That's all you need to say. I think it's bullshit. They bring up Big, where he's a 12-year-old.
It's not okay in Big either.
No, it's not, and it's not okay in Freaky Friday or anywhere. It's
in Big. He actually gets big. He's not in somebody else's body.
He's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
He's still a 12-year-old kid, though.
He's still 12.
I know, but he's not in a person's.
He's not
in his body.
No, it's not.
Right. Yeah. It's not a body swap movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me. All they had to do was just have Chris Pine in his own body come back.
I agree.
What the hell?
Hey, Con Guy is jumping in here today.
Con Guy, where? You lie. Whoops. Are we fighting each other here, Stacey?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
They're just different.
They are. They're both great in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this much about both of them. They are cast perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Wonder Woman comic books, and then you look at Linda Carter, or you look at Gal Gadot, and you're like, holy freaking crap, my books just came to life.
Mm.
They work. They both work. I mean, they're
how does that
6
happen?
feet tall, and but she looks great still, Linda Carter. Again, I don't know how much enhanced surgery she's had.
Who cares? You can't tell, so that's where it's good. It doesn't matter if you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I loved her cameo at the end. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people thought it was a cheap laugh.
Did you?
Really?
You got that she was the Amazon that they talked about, right? Like that.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the lady, and she's still
The
alive.
golden armor. the golden armor winged lady.
What happened to her? But like she's there. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that was her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was perfect. I think that was.
Yeah, no, it was fun. But come on, Marvel does that shit every movie.
That was one of the highlights of that entire movie for sure.
I agree. I thought that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
She's Linda Carter showed up in the Supergirl show for a while too. She played like I think she's the president.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. So, good to see her pop up every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Judah Buddha! You just missed our guest. He had to go to bed because it's like 2 a.m. where he lives.
2 a.m.
He's in Europe. He's in Europe.
He didn't sound European or British or.
Great guy. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
with him.
I was listening. I had to take a class online, which was it's mandatory for us at work. So.
That sucks.
But it's an online class that I didn't think was going to take that long, and it ended up being 2 hours.
That's because by law they said that it's just a new thing because we got the same thing where
you watched all the videos.
You have to actually spend. You can't just like skip over anything.
Yeah.
Your time has to be 2 hours to go for the company to obey the law. Yep.
It was crazy. Like, I mean, the video production was good, but literally they try to make it more interactive now so that if you just are doing something else, they're like, hit when you feel like this is an inappropriate conversation. You have to like hit the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually make you be engaged and interact with the videos because if you don't, then they'll say, you're not paying attention, are you?
Yep.
Well, they're getting something for it. Like,
I'm a contractor for Raytheon and Pratt & Whitney and all those kind of Collins Aerospace, and I have to take these 6 or 8 tests like every 2 years, 3 years, same thing. In the first year I had to do it, I was kind of like, because a lot of it doesn't pertain to what I do. I'm a video guy, and they're talking about like digging holes and patching up ceilings and exposed wires, and so I'm kind of like zoning out, and then you get to the quiz questions, and I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't paying attention, and I failed the first time I ever did it. I failed. I wasn't paying. Some of the questions are easy, like if you see exposed wires, do you A, call maintenance, B,
you lick them, obviously.
Fix it yourself. C, stick a fork in there. Right, exactly. But
stick a fork in there. That's even better.
But it was just they actually had stuff like that, like stick a fork in there.
Right.
No way.
Or there's one like, do you put a ladder next to the, a door that can be opened? Do you lean it? Do you lean it against the door? Do you, those were obvious. But then there's ones like, what's the actual distance you need to be away from XYZ? Right. And I'm like,
what's the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
That was in there. Or, like dangerous chemicals, like which OSHA code tag do you put on this chemical? And I'm like, fuck, guys, So
what's flammable?
Because then, like you, Jude, I had to then pay attention for half a day.
It was this class literally was 2 hours, and it's funny because they mentioned it halfway through. They're like, okay, the next segment's going to be another hour, and you're like, oh my god, like. And I was supposed to complete this before the first, and I didn't, so I got a nasty email from work today. So,
Jude, I'm going to pop the balloons up so you can celebrate. You're finishing the test. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Happy New Year. It's good to see Pete. Last week or last year, we didn't get you.
See, we have balloons.
I was having some internet troubles, so I basically was at the mercy of the technical gods, and they said, "No, not for you, my little man."
I actually had a problem with Comcast. They gave me a modem once, and it was a bum modem, and they kept saying it was my problem because you know how now they have you set it up, and then the guy came out here, fixed it. It finally went offline later on that day. I went on Amazon. I ordered the same exact modem, and then I just plugged it in, and it worked. And I gave it back to Comcast, and I said, and you guys charge me like $1 or $2 a month for this, and I have my own now. So
I go to Best Buy and get my own. So
I think I'm gonna do that next time.
Yeah, it's literally you can go online and get the same modem off Amazon, and it's cheaper. So
so.
Two of my favorite things.
Now, Edson, I owe you an apology. And here's why. Okay, here's why. You brought this to my attention, I think, Sunday night, but it was from We Got This Covered.
Yeah,
I'm like, this guy, no, he's just not. He's wrong 7 out of 10 times. It's just like, we put up a lot of his stories once before, and you just get dragged. So I let it go, and then WDW Pro comes up with the same story. So I'm like, okay, it's on Pirates and Princesses, WDW. Okay, now it might be worth something. So I jumped into the article, and the first thing I saw was, who'd we lose, Jude?
Oh, no.
First thing I saw was here at Pirates and Princesses. Apparently, I think WDW Pro felt the same way about this story as I did. We give credit where credit is due. In this case, while we were trying to follow up on information we were receiving, another newsbreaker, Daniel Rickman, was able to beat us to the punch, breaking the RDJ news publicly. That said, I think we can add some additional information Rickman was not privy to. So by not jumping on his article and then waiting a day, we got a better story.
Right.
So let me let Jude back in here. So
Comcast must be listening. That one guy that came to my house is watching our show. I remember this guy.
So
To hell with him.
So before going into the additional information, let us remind our readers that we're headed into potentials that are still in talks.
Yep.
Just like when we reported on the Tron coaster was likely to shut down and labor would come to pass, blah, 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 blah. They're still in discussions and no contract has been signed. Okay, great. So it's because of Jon Favreau that this will probably happen. And apparently RDJ doesn't want like a cameo. He wants a role.
Oh my God.
It's important to note that
Would be
Don
great.
and Favreau have an excellent and friendly relationship. Both hold each other in very high regard and actively look for opportunities to work with one another. We do not believe that current potential talks for RDJ joining Star Wars are of a cameo nature, nor are they for a small role. At this time, indications given to us are that things are moving forward toward a major recurring role that may involve work in more than one series and may involve a long-term contract.
Wow.
One lead we're working on but cannot yet corroborate is that the potential role may be very different than the Iron Man Tony Stark role that RDJ played for so long, and then it might involve a serious change in appearance.
Oh, weird.
So, Pete, you've watched the cartoons. Jude, you've watched the cartoons. You probably already have in mind who he probably.
Oh yeah, I've seen this story, and that would be an amazing
Ooh,
choice.
ooh, tell me.
It's
Thrawn?
right here.
Grand Admiral
Grand
Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn.
That's what I was gonna guess. Okay, good.
From the original 7, 8, and 9, which were novels. That was the bad guy. He's blue. He's got red eyes. He was apparently
Let me find
the same rank as
Timothy Zahn's novels, right?
Ah, very cool.
yeah. He's a big bad guy.
He'd be. I can see RDJ totally.
I can see it.
Yeah, he's sort of got that whole kind of like criminal mastermind thing going on, where he's just a really ultra smart, narcissistic, crazy man.
Oh, man.
This is a role that I think Robert Downey Jr. can do his Robert Downey Jr. thing, chew the scenery, and
I don't think that's a good.
I love seeing him as a bad guy.
Me too.
I don't like seeing my good guy as a bad guy.
I don't see it. I mean, I'm thinking of like a lot of different actors to fit that role, and he doesn't. Rodney's.
I think he could do anything he wants. I think
Who would you?
He
put,
can.
As in Gary were talking about this afternoon, and then in the chat, people were throwing out casting choices.
The criminal.
And I saw one that I actually really, really liked was Bill Murray.
He's too old.
Bryan Cranston would be a good one.
Oh, Bryan Cranston. There you go.
The villain in the the new Star Trek movies. What's his name? The one that has the big
Cumberbatch?
ship. No, the villain. God, I can't think of his name.
Idris Elba.
From the second movie, or maybe it was the third. All those movies.
Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, the new Star Trek movies. The new Star Trek movies, the Abram movies.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Star Trek 2, Khan.
No.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah.
No, the other guy.
Not Eric Banya, the Romulan guy. He was awful. He's awful. He's not a
Hold
good
on, I have
actor.
to look it up. Hold on.
Oh, not Admiral RoboCop. Peter Weller.
Peter Weller, yeah.
No, but Bruce Green.
No, not Peter.
He'd be good. Bruce Greenwood would be good.
No.
Oh, that's Pike though.
Yeah, I know he's Pike.
Well, that's what I was saying. Pike, right? Is that that's
No, you said the
No,
villain.
Pike is the good guy. You said the villain.
Okay, hold on. I'll get it. I will get there.
Holy crap!
Although that could have been a great story if they turned Pike
Michael
into a
Fassbender
villain.
or something.
Right, let's go.
Fassbender would be good. There you go.
Someone said
Edson,
that.
what about- throw one out, Edson.
Oh my gosh, I gotta think of that. I
Chat
thought
room. Who would be good for this guy?
Timothy's.
One thing's for certain: we know he's got blue balls.
Well,
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Thank you, Fozzie.
I'm here all week.
Bruce. Okay, Bruce Greenwood.
Oh, okay. That's Pike.
who I was
Bruce
trying.
Greenwood. That's
Bruce.
like-
You didn't say Bruce Greenwood.
Yes, I did.
Did he?
Captain Pike.
Yeah,
But I said that, didn't I? I said it.
No,
right.
you said a villain.
You said
Well, he was a villain. He kind of
No,
was
he's
a villain.
not. He's
wasn't he?
Captain Pike.
No, but
Pike was the one who brought Kirk up to get in.
Pike's the admiral.
I thought in the
Second
JB.
one.
I thought in the J.J. Abrams movies he turns bad.
No, he gets kidnapped in the first one, and the second one he gets killed.
Okay, you're right. He gets shot. He gets shot.
As an
that's right.
admiral.
Okay.
Right, he's an admiral.
Obviously, it's been a while since I've seen those movies.
Well, the JJ Star Trek movies are fast food. They
Yes.
fill the void for a couple hours, then they shoot right through you.
That's right. No, but I think Bruce. I mean, pop up a picture of him. Pop up a picture of him. If you painted his face blue and gave him the slick back hair,
I can see that. He's a really good actor too.
he's a little bit older for the role, I think. But
Well, I think he
I
would
think
be
older
older
would
by
be
the time
better.
that movie happened anyway.
right,
Probably, yeah.
There's
but
a fun list.
I think of him immediately. That's who I went to. So
There's like on Screen Rant, there's 10 actors who could play Grand Admiral Thrawn in the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did they say?
Michael
Pick,
Fassbender on the number 10.
course.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Hugo Weaving, who was, isn't he?
Oh,
the-
yeah. That's,
Yep,
yeah,
Red
from the
Smoke.
Matrix.
Yep.
Lord of
Tom
the Rings.
Hiddleston.
Who?
Laurel. Tom Hiddleston.
Loki.
Oh, Loki. Nah.
Yeah, nah. He's already his own thing.
come on,
Lars-
Christopher
Lars,
Walken.
Lars Mickelson? I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Christopher Walken would be a perfect.
Oh my
Walken's
god.
90.
Get
Yeah,
the
no,
Jedi. You,
The
Stormtroopers,
Jedi.
shoot them. It's crazy.
All right, it's
That's crazy. These Jedi's. They're crazy.
They're number one on the
We need
list.
more lightsaber.
yeah. Who's the number one on that list?
Ian Glenn. He's
Who the
from
hell
is Ser Jorah on Game of Thrones. Jorah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it would be okay. I mean, John Hamm is on this list.
John Hamm might be good.
And Anthony Starr from The Boys. You know, the
Oh, yeah. Homelander. Yeah.
Homelander. Yeah, Homelander. Oh, he's so creepy. Ugh, that character.
He's really good.
He's icky.
He's
Oh,
really good.
So icky.
If you see
That
him,
character is so icky.
have you seen interviews with him? He's totally different.
No.
It's so
Is
funny.
he
when
really?
you-
I should watch some.
yeah, like when you see him in real life and how like funny and easygoing and gregarious he is.
It's like character. Well, I mean, I don't assume that the actor is like the character.
Love-
I figure that's very much the character.
Well, some actors are. They say that the guy who plays Kreese is just like that, and he's really difficult to deal with.
Really? Oh. I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah. So, moving on. Amber Turd.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I thought
Now-
you said it. I thought you said Amber Turd.
I did say Amber Turd.
He did.
That's what he refers to her as. That's
He
what
really did say that.
Squeeze me.
She took a shit in Johnny Depp's bed. She is
it's very,
forever.
it's very appropriate. Very
Wait,
appropriate.
they got. There's really a spinoff.
They're saying this now. Here's the funniest part.
not.
Now, of course, it's Grace Randolph, but here's the funniest part. Warner Brothers came out today, and I couldn't find it. I saw it on somebody else's stream. Maybe it was Az's stream. Said that the reason that people love Amber Heard, it's bots on Twitter that don't like her. It's bots. So the hate for Amber Heard is fake. So they're going to just give her whatever.
Wow.
Okay. So So she loses the court battle with Johnny Depp. He loses his work. She keeps getting rewarded. Can somebody tell me what kind of world we live in? I am beyond baffled by this. You know, they like to say people in Hollywood fail up, and
Yeah.
here you go.
I don't really know.
I don't think she's all that great of an actor anyway. Like, just recast her. Like, she doesn't bring anything special to the table.
Yeah, I don't.
Just thought it was funny. Jude, I'm glad you're here. Oh, he's not.
He's not here.
I just looked down because see, to drive the websites, I have to go away. I
Oh,
can't.
he's there. Oh, he's here, but he's just not in his seat.
He walked away. I go to a different. I have to go to the browser, so I'm looking at a different window than this one. So
there he is.
There he's back.
My cat loves to bother me for food every time I'm doing this.
So the Snyder Cut, they're getting McFarlane Toys is making action figures for the Snyder Cut.
And they already spilled the beans?
Here they are. We're getting 7-inch. That's awesome. That's like my Batman here. Dun, 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 dun.
They did that with some of the Force Awakens. They released the toys before the movie, and it pissed off a lot of people. But a lot of people didn't know who the characters were. But obviously, we know. But
yeah, so
Darkseid.
I might get the whole set. Aquaman. We know Stacey will get that one because it's
I might have to get Aquaman. I don't know.
Jason Momoa. Batfleck. Bruce Wayne Batfleck. Cyborg. Let's get your Ray Fisher toy now. It'll probably be worth something, right?
And you can get the one with the helmet.
Ray Fisher with the helmet.
No Wonder Woman?
Ezra Miller Flash. Yeah. Why do we get Ezra Miller Flash and no Wonder Woman?
That's weird.
Henry Cavill. Stacy's going to buy that one too.
Maybe they just have Wonder Woman because of the movie. Maybe they're doing the Wonder Woman movie. Figure you gotta buy that one.
Maybe. Superman in the blue and red suit. So this Superman must be in the black suit then.
Yeah.
If this one's in the blue and red suit. Because we know the black suit's making an appearance because they already showed that little clip where he's in the black and silver suit. Darkseid, that's my favorite one. That's the first one I'm getting is freaking Darkseid. I love that character.
It's probably going to be a pre-order exclusive.
It's McFarlane Toys. So what's the new McFarlane for pre-order? No pictures available yet. Trust Todd so you don't miss out. I do trust Todd. He makes really nice toys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman would be too rapey anyways.
Oh, and so the pre-order goes until January 9th with a promo price. SRP 13 promo price $11.70 each. Oh, baby. Wow. I might have to put this on my Amex. I got to spend some coins. They're only $12 because when they hit the stores, they're going to be $20. They're 7 inches tall.
Do you think that's like the wholesale price, maybe, or something?
The SRP 13 promo price is $11.70 until January 9th.
Oh, promo price. Oh, okay.
But Darkseid's more. He's $18.90. But I'm gonna have to get these.
He's gonna be a big chunk of plastic.
Do you think they're gonna show you what it looks like beforehand? You just like pre-order blind.
I don't know. It says no pictures available yet. Trust Todd. So not until the pre-orders are done. You probably won't see photos.
Oh.
So I don't work for them, but the best place to go get toys, especially pre-ordered, is Big Bad Toy Store. Every single time I've gone and pre-ordered from them, they're really good about sending you stuff on time, and they don't just you don't pre-order and then a lot of these sites you'll pre-order and all of a sudden your pre-order will get canceled because obviously they didn't fit the demand of how many people wanted the figure, and then you have to wait the next round. And I've had no problems with Big Bad Toy Store. So
Or sometimes the next round never comes. Like last week, I was watching Az and Robert Meyer Burnett doing their toy stream, and they found out on the stream that the company they both put pre-orders in for went out of business.
Oh man,
they lost all their money, I think. So the Wonder Woman action figure listed a Mohawk version is from the DC Comics limited series Batman Last Night on Earth that will start released in February, and also includes Scarecrow, Omega, and Batman.
No.
The Snyder Cut of the Justice League movie has been said to be getting a March release on HBO Max. Stars Batfleck, Cavill, Godot, Momoa, Miller, blah 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 blah.
Speaking of toys,
I'm trying to keep some mystery, but I will say it's fun having a segment of the band together for this little vignette, if you will, Sid Snyder about the new themes, working with Jared. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's why the toys aren't being shown. They're holding back on some cool costume reveals and stuff like that. But
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at these. I guess you go to McFarlandToys.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of toys,
it's a logical guess.
You guys remember these? I found these in a box in my closet the other day.
Are those
They're hard to
muscles?
see. Let me hang on.
Muscles.
Let me follow you. Oh my
Remember
god!
Remember these guys? Look, I got a bunch of them on my windowsill. What are they? What was the? It was an acronym, wasn't it? There like an acronym or something?
Yeah, they were little wrestling figures.
Actually, it was based off of a Japanese show, I think. Of
course it was.
And in America, they never aired the show because they thought it was too violent. And so they made like 200 of these PVC molded figures in this like weird flesh color, right? And no one knew the story of it. And obviously, there's a huge cartoon in Japan. And of course, this is pre-internet. I mean, these things were wild. Did you guys have these?
No, I didn't get any.
I never saw that.
You
They
never
were
saw
kinda
muscles?
creepy. Yeah, I remember
That
those.
is creepy. It was have faces on its body.
Yeah, faces on his
Ew.
And there was
Ew.
like
So
200
fleshy.
something of these.
They're so fleshy. It's creepy.
I know. And look, they're sculpted pretty nice though.
He works
Does it have
out.
a-
You can tell
does
by
it
his
have a
butt.
Look at this guy. He's like a turtle.
Yeah.
Oh, his arms aren't cut off.
And then eventually they wanted to make money. They didn't have enough to make new molds, so what they did was they just changed the color.
Right. That old trick.
So
like they used to do with the
There you
He-Man.
go.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Oh, geez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
that's
saw
so
Pete.
funny.
That's
I have.
awesome.
I mean, I
Oh,
look at this.
guy. He can do laundry. He does your laundry for you.
Look at
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That is hilarious.
Now you got to pick them all up afterwards, dude.
this. That's okay. I'll play with them as I pick them up.
That's funny.
She's like,
I'll show you my new toy at the end of the show.
These
oh, please.
I got a steal on that.
I want to know what the market is online for these too. I don't know if they're probably not worth anything, but
Yeah, check out eBay. See what people are getting for them.
What the
You guys
heck?
made me
is
feel
this?
less
What
weird
the
about
hell?
loving
What
mini
kind of
So-
fresh hell is that?
What in the fresh hell is this?
Yes, exactly.
This is. We've been talking about this off and on because like the Marvel Avengers game tanked, and it was because they said it was an Avengers game, but it was really a Ms. Marvel game.
Yeah.
And they're like, Marvel for some reason is ramming this character down people's throats, and they're trying to convince you. I think they have that idea that if you keep saying something enough,
Yeah.
that people will eventually buy it. And they keep saying that she's the new face of Marvel Comics, and she's the hero everybody loves, and she's so popular, but she's not. So this to me really reeks of desperation. So they put out this new Marvel Legends toy. Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
No.
My eyes rolled so far back into my head they fell out the base of my skull.
Okay.
what the
Bad.
hell?
Bad.
As everyone on the planet knows that the face of Marvel Comics since 1962 has been Spider-Man. So if you want to push this character, what do? Let's dress her like Spider-Man. Then people will like her.
That ain't happening.
That is some of the worst cosplay I've ever seen.
For $100?
What?
Is it life size?
Well, Ed said it's only 84 if you act fast.
Jeez.
What?
There's a certain
And
name.
look how they
Spider-Man and Miss Marvel fans, they have nothing to do with each other. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know what they call
I'm gonna
those?
buy that.
They call those in the
Idiots.
toy. They yeah, right.
Peg warmers.
Call that they call them peg warmers. That's the name for in the action figure hobby. If it doesn't sell, it stays on the peg, and then it gets marked down to like $3 at Walmart.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
This to me reeks of desperation. If I click on it again, there it's bigger. This is pathetic. They can't sell this character, and instead of giving up, instead of doing what any normal company would do, And it's the same thing with all these doubling down on these woke movies and stuff. Instead of just saying people don't like this, let's just give them what they like. No, we're gonna keep ramming this shit at you until you accept it. Dressing her as Spider-Man is still not going to work for them. Who would want this?
They would be better off, and I don't want to. They'd be better off making this figure into a Barbie, because at least
they would be better off selling a Spider-Man figure.
Yeah.
With Iron Man.
Well, yeah, but if they were going in this direction, they could have made her into a brat. Do they still have brats?
Yeah, Barbie? They do. But the point of the whole story to me is that they keep trying to sell this character to people who don't want this character.
Exactly, it's not going to work.
They have a show coming up with her.
Yeah,
right.
And Marvel Legend Collectors, which is the name of the action figure line, they're really critical. They're super critical. They get figures and they pick them apart. They're like, "Well, this little thing on the edge here is not really what his outfit looks like."
It's ridiculous, and they give you the stretchy arms or the big fists.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Comic book fans don't like this character.
Nope.
So here's what you get in the box. You get the limited edition Hasbro Marvel Legends Ms. Marvel Spider-Man costume edition.
Not available anywhere else. Well, thank
God.
Which means that's another thing. They're going to do small run of it, because they're not going to sell it.
And then they'll say, "Oh, hey, sold out. We made 5 of them. They all sold."
Right. And then 2 variants, Iron Man #1 with John Tyler Christopher blueprint variant cover, which you can see behind there.
Yeah.
And Iron Man #2 with the Salvador La Rocca variant, which you can see right there.
You get a pin.
Iron Man unmasked by Scotty Young pin.
Yeah,
I like Scotty Young's little things. That looks a little anime to me, but Stark Unlimited logo patch. So to me, this isn't $100 worth of stuff. It's like $12 worth of stuff.
It won't sell. It'll sit on pegs forever.
Well, it's not going to be in the store. It's not available anywhere else except mail order. Limited edition. So it's just the idea that they feel like they have to put her in.
You want to see something cool? That's an action figure. Check this out. These actually look really good. I'll put it in the private chat.
Why don't you just share your screen?
Oh, I could do that too.
Wow, I admit I haven't seen that story before, and it's like I'm shocked that they.
That's how I felt when I found it. I was just over the weekend hunting for something. The stories were very slow coming into the new year, and I was like, "Oh man, we're not going to have much to talk about." And I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god." They might as well just put Marvel in desperate mode Marvel desperate to sell Ms. Marvel.
Did it work? Did it work?
Yep.
Look at these guys. This is a set I want.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, look at you get the whole Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom. I'm assuming that's a She-Hulk-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, gray She-Hulk. Yeah.
Yep, that's She-Hulk. I mean, look at
who's putting these out. I like the Doctor Doom.
Yeah, dude, these look really good. And then you buy all the figures and you get the parts for the scroll figure. Yeah. I mean, this is what people want. I mean, look at that. That's cool. Look at this finger.
But I still think John Krasinski and Emily Blunt would be perfect as Reed and Sue.
So you get the parts. You get like an arm and a leg.
Right, because the Super Skrull has all their powers. He has all 4 powers. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
These are cool.
That's awesome.
Get to Dr. Doom. Very nice. Oh, the Thing is good. I might get the Thing. I'll buy the Thing in Doom.
I mean, look at all the detail.
Yeah, that is very detailed.
Yeah, imagine if you went over that with some
these
dark
are
orange
the Marvel
wash.
Yeah, these are the Marvel Legends.
Right.
And for that price, that's not bad. I mean, you figure each figure you can get for
about $20-something each.
Yeah,
right?
$20. That Doctor Doom.
Wow. Yeah, that cool. Doctor Doom is awesome. That I gotta get.
Oh my god, dude.
Yep. All right, I'm all in on Doctor Doom.
She-Hulk looks cool too.
Yeah, she's cool.
Why is she gray?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a comic? Is there a comic where she turns gray? Like
maybe.
Might be.
I mean, this is Fantastic Four. I haven't collected Fantastic Four in a while, so maybe there's something with her in it.
She's got some serious abs, man.
Yeah. She-Hulk's a great character.
Cool. And look, you can get him with his just regular suit and arms, and then
or build him out with the
That's crazy.
So cool. I mean,
If you're
this
gonna
is
get the set and build the scroll. You might as well put the
yeah. I mean,
big
this
arm
is the stuff that people want. You know,
You're right.
I mean, come on.
Yep. You're right. Oh, Jude left the studio. I clicked the wrong button.
Kept clicking. Clicked once too many times.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on while he figures it out. The Mandalorian and Favreau and Filoni's universe to replace the sequel
Yeah, I
trilogy
saw
characters at the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I saw this.
Not
too.
just Florida, at both Galaxy's
Helps
Edge.
if I back out of the right window, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, info is coming out of Lucasfilm Fast and Furious, and particularly from the Kathleen Kennedy side of things. I'll be honest, I've got too many articles. This is WDW Pro again, by the way, on Pirates and Princesses. Okay. Anyway, I think the amount of info being leaked is indicative of the Kathleen side knowing that they've lost.
Knock, knock.
For those of you who don't know, there is a civil war going on at Lucasfilm. There are two factions, the Favreau-Filoni faction, which gives you things like the Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker in proper form. And then there's the Kathleen Kennedy side that gives you the Star Wars sequels and Jake Skywalker sucking teat milk off of some monster.
Maybe they're trying to get Lucas to tell her that she's fired. Maybe they're just like, you got to do it, guys. We don't want to do it. You got to do
Lucas has no say anymore. He sold it.
Yeah, but he gave it to her. Unfortunately,
it's Bob Chapek and Bob Iger are her bosses.
They're just scared of her or something.
Clearly, the schism.
Yeah,
has
no,
turned
she
into
knows where the
DLC.
bodies are buried. So
She's got dirt on them.
Oh yeah, no, she's got dirt on them, and she's not going anywhere. But they're going to make life as difficult as possible for her.
Right.
I mean, she's like embedded like a tick. She's not going to go away.
She is. So instead of there being two factions, there are employees and loyalists at Lucasfilm that bought into Kathy's vision and have now lost complete confidence in Disney. Essentially, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have formed a partnership which is buoyed by Bob Iger and ostensibly by Bob Chapek. So they got the Bobs on their side.
Oh, yeah.
What they're doing is ingenious. They're building a Star Wars streaming and cinematic universe that follows the MCU blueprint.
Of course, that makes sense.
The difference is they're doing it with streaming series that give them significantly more screen time to tell their stories. Their plan is to revere George Lucas, restore the original characters back to glory, tell an engaging saga that crescendos with a battle against Thrawn, all while preparing to fix the problems of the sequel trilogy. Eventually, they'd like to do a trilogy that chronologically follows the sequel trilogy and features Grogu. I assume that means the next trilogy would be set many decades into the future in the franchise's fictional timeline. While that's going on, and that's where the budget is, Kathleen gets some side projects with small budgets to do whatever zany stuff she wants. But they have to be kept away from the Star Wars streaming and cinematic universe. They don't touch.
Good.
She gets to do Ghostbusters 2016 projects, while Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni get MCU-sized projects and budgets she can't meddle with. You see, Favreau and Filoni report directly to Iger. Kennedy gets no say on anything they're doing, even though she can provide.
Wow, that's
notes.
good news.
Wow.
It is good.
Kennedy's Lucasfilm has done everything in its power to go in a certain direction. Identity politics.
So you mean
Favreau and Filoni are going a different way. The different way is winning. And it's winning to such a degree that the diehards who can't adjust out there are making tons of noise while their ship sinks. Many of them don't realize their days are numbered. Wonder if Pablo Hidalgo realizes the future of Star Wars looks completely opposite of what he wants. Remember when Galaxy's Edge was open and attendance at Disneyland actually dropped? Don't thank the Phoenicians, thank Kathleen Kennedy. Epcot joke, sorry. She's the one who convinced Iger to jettison the original plans. The original plans were to do the Lucas original trilogy.
Which everybody wants. Right.
And she said, no, enough with the 50-year-old Star Wars fans. We need younger Star Wars fans. Let's put my characters
Well,
in.
guess who pays for the...
That would have gone with a more unified Star Wars land that would have been meshed together the elements of prequels, originals, and sequel trilogies. Well, guess what's happening at Hollywood Studios now at Galaxy's Edge? People don't want to see Rey. Rey who? They don't want to see Emo Ren that killed Han Solo. People want to see Mando. People want to see Ahsoka. People want to see that baby Yoda. And people want to see Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Disney wants money. So that's why I can believe I can corroborate some rumors that have been floating around about changes to Galaxy's Edge, according to a source close to Walt Disney World management, Josh D. Amaro. We believe at the behest of Bob Iger, has started the process of determining cost and logistics for transitioning Galaxy's Edge in both Hollywood Studios and Disneyland to the timeline of Mandalorian. Blue French cookies for everybody. It goes on. Get ready because Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Mando, Grogu, and all the rest are kicking Rey and Kylo out of Galaxy's Edge. It's a matter of time.
Nice.
There's people that like my mom who hate Star Wars, but Baby Yoda for some odd reason, you put that thing on a mug or T-shirt. My mom's buying it. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Because he's so cute.
He's adorable.
I love
Well,
it.
if they are planning for this long range Star Wars universe like the MCU, it does go along with Robert Downey Jr. being a part of it as well.
Oh yeah,
makes sense.
look when he zoomed it in.
I love it.
Who's your good little Muppet? Yes, you are.
I mean,
he's awesome. This thing is great.
I mean, Grogu
That's
sells,
17 bucks,
man.
He's awesome.
There's
Well,
just
and like,
something.
I watched Empire Strikes Back the other day, and like, just Yoda was the man. Like, he's like the way he screws with Luke, and like, you know,
yeah.
some crazy swamp
Well,
guy.
that's what I really liked about Grogu is they kept the mischievous. You know, Yoda was mischievous.
Yeah, there's that quality about him. That's awesome.
But the thing is, I don't think fans want to see Grogu grow up. They want to keep him as a baby forever.
That's true.
He'll be young for a long time.
What about
like,
teenage Grogu?
Yeah, like Grogu.
You can screw around with
That's
that.
just fun. I mean,
My favorite part of The Mandalorian is when he has to get the ship fixed, and there's like a little tiny space he can't get into, and he has Grogu in the back, and he's like,
my
"Okay,
God.
unplug the red wire,
Blue one, put the
unplug the red wire, replace it with the green one. No, listen to me," and he just keeps.
Yeah, Grogu's like, and he's chewing on it. Yeah.
He's like, I give it. I figured it was worth a try.
The whole scene's like almost a minute and a half, but you're just like, "Oh my god, this is great!" And then
It
he finally gets
reminded me
electrocuted.
of it reminded me of the Monty Python. Now you stay here and make sure he doesn't leave. Right? We'll come with you. No. You stay here. Make sure he doesn't leave.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
explaining to Baby Groot, the first which button, which.
Yeah, right.
So great. So great.
So yeah, I agree with you, Edson. This definitely it's starting to the dots are starting to connect. Robert Downey Jr. MCU style presentation. We already saw at the Disney Investor Conference that their major announcements and the ones that are actually in production are all Mando spin-off shows. Those are the only ones, aside from the Obi-Wan, those are the only shows that are being developed right now or in production. The Book of Boba Fett and all that stuff. Oh my God. Batman and Joker just collapsed on me.
They're fighting. They're fighting in your show.
I definitely, you know,
you just had a Toy Story moment.
Yeah, WDW Pro is legit because he I definitely, you know,
you just had a Toy Story moment.
Yeah, WD. That was weird.
That was like feedback.
Yeah, I have it streaming on the other because I want in case we had to pop the chat into a separate window. Anyway, I accidentally turned the volume up. So Mark Hamill responds to praise from Ming-Na Wen. So Ming-Na Wen was just floored working with him. And she tweeted, "You and Luke have been immensely inspirational and impactful in my childhood and as an adult. To have shared a scene with you in The Mandalorian is truly one of the biggest highlight, not just in my career, but in my life. Thank you. You're a fan always. Ming-Na, aka Fennec." This also it's a middle finger to the Twitter mob who keeps saying that there's your proof right there. She's been a Star Wars fan her whole life, and that Luke was an inspiration to her. I thought little girls couldn't be inspired by patriarchy.
Well, now you have Cara Dune.
So Mark Hamill responds to her and says, "No words. Seeing fan reactions to Luke's return is something I will cherish forever. Their anticipation in seeing the X-Wing Episode 6 robes, a lightsaber, a green lightsaber, a gloved hand, an ungloved hand, a force choke, R2 was overwhelming and very moving to me." That was one of two. Was there a second one here somewhere? I don't know. So this happened. I'm literally speechless other than to say the pleasure was all mine, Ming-Na. Much love, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill.
Mark. That's funny.
He's very clever, that Mark Hamill.
He is.
You should consider showbiz, this guy. But to make it even cooler, he linked to a Fandom Menace YouTube channel. and showed all the mixed reactions. So good for him, man.
So she's gonna
Yeah.
be Bad Batch and Book of Boba Fett, huh?
Yep. Yep. She's amazing. She's 57 years old.
Dude, I loved her on ER in the 90s. Like she was like she's been around for a long time.
57 years old. She doesn't look a day over 30.
Beautiful. Yeah, she looks awesome. She's I loved seeing her in Mandalorian. She was great.
And if she ever wished for like someone to come back to life, and I'll be the meat puppet for that one too. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool. And the Star Wars outreach. I mean, we saw it last week. There was Pedro Hidalgo. Is it Pablo Hidalgo? I get like Pedro Pascal, Pablo Hidalgo. Pablo Hidalgo attacked Star Wars Theory for his reaction to Luke tearing up and crying on YouTube and whatnot. And then there was another guy that was a freelance artist for the Topps company that does work for Lucasfilm, trashing fans. And then there was another guy this week, I forgot his name. He did the same thing, and it's just like, come on, man. Meanwhile, you have people like Mark Hamill and Ming-Na Wen and now Gina Carano doing the opposite and reaching out to fans and treating fans with amazing amount of respect. And for Gina Carano to go on Drunk 3PO's YouTube channel and do an interview, and I was blown away because I saw Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers say that he was going on a live stream with Star Wars Theory and Drunk 3PO last week, and I'm like, I'll watch some of that. That could be fun. And as soon as I turned it on, they were in the middle of something, and Drunk 3PO dropped the bomb that he had interviewed Gina. And that's amazing. He doesn't have a huge channel, Drunk 3PO. So that was kind of cool. He's been it started with a Twitter flirting back and forth with those two. Mm-hmm. And she just got caught up in the whole fandom thing. And she's been following all the YouTube channels we do. And she's just she's a fan of the fans. And it's kind of like the way she was talking. Did anybody watch this?
I watched a highlight video. I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah.
There's 3 parts up now. They're all about a half hour each. I've only watched.
Right.
Yeah, but you can tell that like at first she was kind of like, okay, people are a little overwrought with this stuff. But as she's gotten to watch these channels and know of these people, and she just realizes that they're like good people and they're passionate fans and they know what they want. And it's kind of like the Star Trek actors when they were first kind of like, whoa, why are they having Star Trek conventions? Isn't that a little weird? And then they come around to it and they realize that these are the people who buy this stuff. These are the people who gave me this career. And they're the people that Gina Carano is going to have her own show. And it's mostly because of the fan response to her character on The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
She's probably going to have a bit part in The Mandalorian, and that was it, right? Mm-hmm. So they understand that the audience is what drives this stuff.
Of course, yeah.
And her career has just launched because of people like us. So good on her. Her interview they were a little too giggly for me. They're kind of over flirting in a way. But he was.
I mean, Keith, come on. If you interviewed her,
just jealous.
I know. If Keith interviewed her, he'd be like, "Well."
I think there'd be a lot of giggling. I'm just saying.
I'm sure there would be, but
I have a toy of you.
And
your tea
and the tea. He'd be sipping it
every Tuesday. I gotta have my Cara Dune tea. Look, my name is Mr. Cara Dune. Where are you?
You'd be giggling like a schoolgirl.
Maybe. I'd probably be more like with a frozen smile on my face and not say anything.
Yeah, don't do it, Jude. I've messed up so many times.
Oh, that was the best. That was
God.
good.
It's so embarrassing. I don't know if you tell the story.
Good. You want me to tell the story? I won't.
God, go ahead. Might as well.
In 1999, Kevin Smith had a
turn red
preview screening of Dogma at Lincoln Center in New York, and Jude and I went, and he had like a open Q&A forum before they screened the movie, It was good. And this is when Kevin still lived in New Jersey before he moved to LA, when he was still Kevin Smith. And it finally got to the time where he had to screen the movie, and he goes, "Hey, show of hands, who wants to watch the preview screening of Dogma?" And almost all the hands went up, and he goes, "Okay, I want to keep talking, so whoever doesn't care about the movie can follow me into this other room over here, and everyone else can enjoy the movie and let me know what you think."
Yeah, it was awesome.
And the movie hadn't been released yet.
Yep.
So me and Jude were like, "Fuck the movie." And we went over.
Well, us and 200 people.
No, in that little room, there was only about, I'd say, 15 or 20 of us.
Well, yeah, and we all sat around like
on the floor,
like in kindergarten. You know, when you read the story, so there's like one chair in the room, and you all sit Indian style around the teacher.
Yeah, he had like one or two chairs because his wife she took one, and the two of them sat there, and he just talked, and you know, it was very intimate. There was a small group of us in there.
Yeah, it was just.
At that time, I was making a little goofy Kevin Smith style fart and poop joke movie myself on video. I was getting to the point where it was almost done, and I had to go to post. So I pulled him aside afterward and told him about it, and we started talking for about a half an hour. I'd say 20 minutes. We talked for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Kevin was really into it and very supportive, and he said, his producer was with him. The guy who signed him to Miramax was there, Bob Hawk. And he's like, "Bob, come over here. Give this guy your card. You got to help this guy out when he's ready."
Yeah, it was one of those moments.
I still have his card.
Yeah.
He's probably dead now, but he was up there back then. So anyway, he gives me the card. He encourages me. He's like, you know, do it up. You know, get a hold of me when it's over, when you're done with it, and I want to see it. And then Jude's been standing there the whole time listening to this, and he
not even listening. I've just been like, because I was so totally starstruck.
Yeah,
idiot.
Jude was totally into Smith. So Smith turns to Jude and he goes, "So what's your story, man?" And Jude goes, "How's it going?"
And he didn't even respond. He was just like, "Okay."
Smith goes like, "That's it? You've been standing here for 20 minutes while this guy talks, and that's all you got is, how's it going?"
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, it was bad. He just walked away at that point. He's like, "Okay, bye. I gotta go."
Nice.
And that was it. That was my moment.
What's this you just sent me, Pete?
Apparently, Dr. Dre had a brain aneurysm
Today?
just now.
Let me pop this up.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Oh no. Hopefully he'll be okay. He could be okay.
He's not that old. He's probably what,
first
50?
of all, he wasn't paying attention. We did all this stuff at the beginning of the show, not now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you know.
No, not you. Him, Dr. Dre. He's late. That sucks. That's
Not
awful.
yet.
Oh, he's 55. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Hopefully he's okay.
I think 2020 is still lingering.
He could still be okay. I like to think on the positive, you know. He could.
Well, he's not dead. That's a good thing.
He's not late yet.
You can come out of that.
He's stable and lucid, but doctors don't know what caused the bleeding. They're doing a battery of tests.
Mm.
These stories.
Holy shit. As you know, Dre's in the middle of a contentious divorce with his estranged wife.
Yep,
Probably stress is probably what popped something in his head.
Could be.
I mean, I've been so stressed out. Like it's unbelievable. I went to I'm in really good health. I take care of myself. I go to the gym and I eat. I don't eat great, but I eat pretty well. I don't, once in a while I'll stuff a pizza down my gut, but mostly just drink water and coffee, and I don't drink soda, or I haven't had booze in 5-6 years. So I go to the doctor for this eye thing a couple months ago, and my blood pressure is off the charts. I've never had high blood pressure. They couldn't believe it. They took it 4 times. They were like, this can't be right. So I can see that's probably, I bet he had like super high blood pressure.
Yeah, probably.
Wow. Well, I hope he pulls through, man. That's awful.
Yeah, 2020 strikes again.
Well,
2021.
Yeah.
It's just a number on.
So, while we're on music, it's no secret that I'm a fan, but this thing, I've heard rumors from there's a YouTuber, Kiss YouTuber, Almost Human, and he said he's heard from very reliable sources, and he's a radio DJ, so he's probably got them, that they only sold 11,000 tickets to this thing. It was a $49 pay-per-view streaming on New Year's Eve. 11,000 is times 50 is not a lot of money. And so they go to Dubai and they get censored. They couldn't. So God of Thunder, they had to take the phrase Virgin Soul out and change it to Sacred Soul. They couldn't use the word bitch in the word 100,000 years. Gene Simmons couldn't spit blood. But they set a record for fireworks. Saying the word fucking is a crime in Dubai and disgraces the honor and modesty of a person, according to Article 373 of the UAE Penal Code. They'd be fined $2,700 for every time you utter an obscenity.
Fuck.
So,
fuck that, man.
Fuck that, right? So
this is fucking bullshit.
So they go over there. They had a 500-person crew. So they risk COVID with 500 dudes to go over to Dubai, get censored on their material. They had a 250-foot stage.
Damn.
Did 22 songs, 2.5 hours or so. Filmed in 4K with 50 cameras.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And they set a high water pyro mark. They set off the most pyro at a concert now. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, look at the picture of that. Look at that.
Jeez.
And they're waiting on certification that it smashed the highest grossing pay-per-view live stream for a rock concert at 10.4 million. I think they're making that up. I do. There's no way. I don't think so. And even if they did, they said the show cost $10 million to put on.
Wow.
So even if that number comes in, they're only going to make 400 grand for all that trouble. That's yeah.
But why that destination? Why didn't they just do it here, somewhere in the States?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a stupid. I mean,
see, and this maybe that's part of the 10.4 million is that Dubai gave them like 8 of it or 10 of it. You know, like who knows? But they were probably paid pretty well to do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they could have gone and done it in Vegas or something.
Stacy would probably like this, and I don't know if you saw it. Didn't Pearl Jam do something on New Year's Eve? They did a live stream on New Year's Eve. I saw some of it.
I don't. What is it like? It was. You saw some of it? I think.
Yeah, it was. They streamed it online. You could probably find it on YouTube.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, there was. They did in Italy. I think it was in Italy.
Oh,
so there was.
And that's not live because he was in Hawaii for New Year's.
Really?
Yeah, I follow his wife on Instagram. So
that's weird. Maybe it wasn't. It was
a past show that they were. I kept getting emails about it. It's like it was a past performance of it.
I thought that was live. Okay.
No, I think it was from 2018. No, it's not live. They're not playing it.
So they probably did one of those bad dub overs. They played it for this year's New Year's Eve, and then they probably had, welcome 2021. They just changed.
No, I don't think it was. It was billed up in 2018. It was just. I don't know. People like to watch those old things.
I didn't watch any. I mean, I don't know if you guys did, but I didn't watch any of the Dick Clark show, or whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
What is it?
No.
Rockin' New Year's Eve.
I was on.
Was it on?
Rockin' New Year's Eve.
I don't know. I didn't watch it either.
I was watching Twilight Zone and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, I had a beer and went to bed.
Fuck it. Yeah, I had a couple shots of wild turkey and I was pretty much passed out by
Edson and I did our football show, and then I somehow ended up on Zoom.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I mean, they had like video cameras of Times Square, and there was like nobody there, and it was like so weird to see that on New Year's Eve.
Well, I think that's how New York's been, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
New York was probably happy about that. Imagine cleaning that shit up.
Ugh.
Good God, man.
No, thank you.
Has anybody gone there for New Year's in this chat?
You couldn't get me there on a bet.
No, it's cold. Where do you go to the bathroom? And you know someone's gonna puke on you. I don't know. Those are the things I think about.
Gonna do the little whip out and pee on your leg.
Someone will puke on you for sure. Like no.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend has a timeshare in Times Square that overlooks that, and she goes every couple of years because they rotate the people who have ownership of it. And she's asked me to come a couple times, but I think I've been in LA every time she's asked me to go. But she said that's the way to do it. You sit up there and look
that would
down.
be cool. If you had a place
Yeah.
to be, that's
Right.
fun. That would be fun.
Yeah, she said it's hilarious just watching the nonsense in the street. Like,
Oh.
people have to wear like those, the diapers and stuff because
I
you pee
know.
yourself. You can't move once you get in there, and you're there for 8, 9, 10
I
hours.
was trapped in Times Square just on a regular day. I missed the last train, so I was there for like 3 hours waiting for the next train to show up.
That's the other thing.
There's nowhere to pee on a regular day.
Right. Right.
You're
No,
right.
seriously.
I really had to balance out like how much coffee and Red Bull to stay awake, but not too much to pee.
Red Bull, like a teaspoon of Red Bull will blow your bladder up.
And if you've ever left Yankee Stadium before, you know the crowd.
Yeah.
I've been leaving
Oh,
on
yeah.
New Year's Eve
It's like,
or New Year's Day.
So that's what I did New Year's.
Look at that guy.
I ended
Look
up
at
on
you, man. I can't even do that, and I feel so bad.
what this?
Don't make fun of me, please. But
No.
this is embarrassing. I might need a rubber band.
Glue. Just put a couple of drops of crazy glue.
You're not
Hey,
from
let's
around
get
here. You're not from around here, are you?
You boys are funny.
Nanu.
Did you know the whole thing with this with Leonard Nimoy? He says his grandmother, I think, used to do it to him, right, or something. There was some Jewish thing.
It's part of a Jewish thing. I think they're
Yeah.
just like that. So he just did that.
Yeah, they totally let him do it. They were like, "What would you do?" And he goes, "I'll do this, and I'll have this phrase: live long and prosperous." And they're like, "We love it. Take it."
So while we're on the subject of Star Trek, I don't know what can come of this. But apparently now, and the judges okayed this, there was some shenanigans in this merger, mostly by Sherry Redstone. She was a power grab. Suing shareholders alleged Sherry Redstone was obsessed with attaining status of media magnet so as to surpass her father's legacy, and pursued the merger at all costs. The Redstones exert control over both Viacom and CBS through National Amusements, which at the time of the merger held approximately 80% of voting stock in both companies, only generating 11% of the equity. That's interesting. So she kind of strong-armed the merger. And now the judge is going to let the share owners take her on. And it doesn't say like what could potentially happen. But I'm guessing if they find that the merger occurred under false pretenses, that's probably a violation of the SEC, and they're going to put it back the way it was. They might break it back up again. Now, what does that mean for Star Trek if they break it back up again?
Yeah. Well, the movies and the TV shows don't talk to each other anymore.
Right. That means that Paramount now has to pay royalties to CBS to use Star Trek, and they have to alter it by 25% again, right?
Yeah, that's makes sense to me.
Or is that what's in place now? Yeah, that's what. I don't know. It's a mess. This whole thing's been a shit show from the beginning. And you'll probably will lose. What's the woman, Emma Watts, they put in charge there? Is that her name? The woman who's slowly trying to get rid of J.J. Abrams? Yeah. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It caught my eye. What bothered me is it doesn't. Oh, and I have the actual. This is interesting. Here it is. This is the actual SEC merger document.
Wow, where'd you get that?
So, from the SEC website.
Nice.
And I actually was vain enough to think that if I did like a keyword search, I could find like the consequence of like what the ramifications of this merger were, and what each company was entitled, because when you do this, you have to do certain things. You have to liquidate certain things, and you have to meet certain shareholder goals, and it's bizarre, and it's
You
stuff.
found shit, didn't you?
Huh?
I said you found shit, didn't you?
Yeah, I pulled that up and went, yeah, I'm not reading this, but I'll save it for the stream because it's interesting to look at. So I actually fell victim to an ad on one of the pop-up ads had this Batman chair, and I'm like, I'll just show this too.
Wow, look at that
Batman chair.
Wow.
I sent to Alan because he loves Batman, and he's like, yeah, I tried to buy it. It's sold out, and for for his size, it's like super expensive.
Wow, look at
But
that.
this is for people 5'8" and under.
Oh,
you go to the
Wow, really?
3 sizes of chair.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
They got some other ones though. You can get
Oh, they have tons of chairs. Oops, but I just wanted the Batman chair.
No, the Batman one does look cool.
Yeah.
Definitely a Bat Cave looking chair.
Totally. What I like is the back of the chair. Where's the back? How do I?
It has the what is that? The lumbar support.
I have the number on this chair.
Lumbar supports. Is that what it is?
Lumbar, yeah.
Lumbar. Is that your lower back?
Yes. Yeah.
My
So
car seat does that.
I thought that was cool. So who saw this?
I did not see this.
I didn't see that.
Do you want
Is that
to?
a trailer?
No, yeah, let's watch it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, hold on.
Can you plug the audio in?
Oh,
Let's make sure the audio plays.
we might
Can
get
you hear that?
demons.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
We,
All right. I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to full screen it for you. Oh, I can't. It's going to blow up the.
we are the guardian of
okay.
peace and justice.
Oh boy.
Beyond the stars is a near endless frontier.
Star Trek?
I know.
Our order was
Oh,
meant
boy.
to shine its light.
Save Ted.
Stunning, how brave.
Stunning and brave.
There, we found an
Oh, that's right. I did
that
read
no
about
one
this.
had trained for, that threatens all we know.
Coruscant.
Yep.
Yoda's gonna be a
Youthful Yoda.
Youthful Yoda is probably gonna be a simp.
Yeah.
For the survival of the Republic, the fate of all Jedi, for control of the Force itself.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it's an animated series?
No, it's just it's
Comic books.
a whole
I think.
bunch of things. It's comic books, novels.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, lost
Yeah.
The whole YA thing again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where we're, overweight, woke.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna read it anyway. So.
I'm not
It's
interested.
full of identity politics and it
Certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
But that guy has a head of a penis though.
And a
It's
butt.
isn't he in the Cantina band? That guy.
That is
Yeah.
the same Cantina band feature,
His butt is
You know, he retires to play in the Cantina.
Right. This was before he had to retire. Right.
Band.
That's a pretty good second career he did. for
And then they
himself.
have these terrible. I clipped this out too. The villains, like
Oh,
That looks like a D&D figure.
the Drengir.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, look at these guys.
wow.
These guys look like
These
they're
guys look like the Rancor, like Zookeeper,
yeah, but they also look like they're in other things. These people, yeah.
the Nihil.
Mm.
It just doesn't look interesting by any stretch. Martian Rowe. Is that like their Boba Fett or something? I don't know.
Mm.
It-
I have to say Han Solo or Solo the movie definitely had a different look than a lot of the other Star Wars movies with the characters and just the planets. And this looks like they stole a lot of that costume design from
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
This is one of the Kathleen Kennedy. Remember last week we pulled up the board?
Yeah. Leave the
Oh,
board.
that's right. Yeah. I
Now they
remember.
can tell
That
her
was
leave the
from
board out of
this.
the meeting.
That was from this show.
Really?
He came first.
I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
She can only take notes now. She can't bring her board.
Artist Stephen Wayne. Oh, let me pop this one up. Here's more of that. Hang on. So these are some of the main characters.
Right.
Leox Gyasi. Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said about that. And then we have Ram Joram, who ate the buffet. Well, you know, Boshuda. So they make it a point in that trailer to say, like, these are the Jedi at the height of their power.
Yeah,
These
right.
two guys don't look like Jedi at the height of their power.
No,
Sorry.
they're gonna make them
Maybe
young.
some of these guys,
They're gonna
but-
make them young, goofy Padawans.
Yes, exactly. So we have
And
a Darth
and they're-
Maul
and
looking
they're-
character. We have a Bosk looking character here. This one looks like Ahsoka a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, they have the teenage.
There's the guy, Leox Gyasi.
That doesn't look like a regulation uniform right there.
No,
Just
no.
saying. That's altered.
Heck.
This is representation. This is identity politics. This is for the
Ooh.
LGBT community. This is for body shaming.
I'm curious if the artist does an
What?
initial sketch.
No.
Ah.
Oh God! Please no.
That's a joke.
What?
That's a joke. It's a joke.
Yes, it is. It's a fan who's mad at shit like
Yeah.
this. I'll
I-
fix it.
Just
wouldn't
the
be
next step.
I wouldn't be
Nice.
surprised if the artist. Oh God! A Grogu cookie? Is that a Grogu cookie?
It's a big one.
Like a hot dog or something. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Purple dog or something.
Oh shit!
Like go up to the
Jelly
other one.
donut.
That's
Good
really
God.
good.
Look
Oh,
at
look
his,
at, you know-
he has no neck.
I was gonna say no chin. No.
Wow.
Oh
That's
shit!
bad.
This guy,
Oh my god.
Mr. Stephen Wayne Art, probably caught a lot of shit for those. That's pretty funny.
Well, I'm curious to know when the artist has the original sketch of what he wants the characters to look like, or they sort of say this is what we want, and he lays it down on the boardroom table, and they just take a big black marker and they go no, 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 and they just and then he's
No.
gonna
That's
go
why
back
you never surrender up your original art. Well, then again, original art is all made in the computer.
Right. Right.
So they aren't destroying the originals. What the hell is that?
Apparently, Wonder Woman 3 is going to go back to the tone of the first one.
Good.
Major DC villain. It's going to take Diana back to Themyscira, which
What-
good. We might get like
at what year?
what's our character we like there? It's in I'm drawing a blank.
Artemis.
Artemis, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Artemis Prime.
Artemis Prime.
No, she would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who they're going to tease as the major villain.
So they're gonna try to probably do modern
Or
day.
actually be
at this
one.
point.
That'll be good.
Yeah, right. There was no villain in this movie,
It
really.
really wasn't. It really wasn't. And that was the big problem.
Also, it came from Mikey Sutton, so it probably has some weight to it.
Good. That's exciting.
Who's doing
Yeah.
who's doing the script?
Not Patty Jenkins.
Hopefully
They'll
not
put
Patty Jenkins.
somebody else back in.
Just the fact that their tone will be like the first one, and they'll actually
Right.
have a villain. That's huge.
Jude, were you on the stream yet when we talked about how it's
Yeah, well, I was listening.
rated
when I
the
was,
lowest? It's the
when I
lowest.
was,
Yeah,
I was trying to multitask between doing the.
Well, you were
video.
trying to do a mandatory
Right.
training. Yeah.
I was kind of going back and forth. I was trying hard until it started getting interactive, and I was like, "Damn
Right.
it!"
So,
But I was
yeah.
listening.
So it's
Conguy had
officially
something to
rated
say.
the worst DC movie.
Yeah.
A bunch. So
Conguy had a comment about the character with the donut. there.
Neil's Donuts.
Oh, he did.
Neil's Donuts.
Oh, there you go.
If you've never been to Wallingford,
Oh, yeah.
Neil's Donuts. Oh my god! And they're
Really?
huge. They're like this big.
Oh, they're awesome.
They're
yeah.
unbelievable.
Like feel like a real
The
donut.
problem is, I force myself to just go maybe once or twice a year because then I'll look like that character that they.
I love a
Yeah.
good donut.
I love donuts.
And the coffee's really good there.
The coffee's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I heard though, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard that it takes like 5 days to digest a donut.
That's a waste
Yeah.
of shenanigans.
No.
That's
That's what I heard online.
That's like-
Some of
It's
the
like
people
swallowing.
are-
Remember when you used to swallow bubble gum? Your parents
Yeah,
were like,
six,
"Now it's
7
gonna
years."
stay in your stomach forever."
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it's
True.
got to be true if it's online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Lord.
I saw it on YouTube. It's definitely true.
Whatever.
But I-
Either a good donut.
But I got a box of donuts and I brought it over to my dad's, and my stepmother said that. She goes, "I can't have those. I heard donuts take 5 days to digest in your stomach." And I was
Well
like,
then, mother,
that
more
can't,
for
that
me.
can't be true.
It has to be
Wow.
worth it. It has to be a worth it donut.
Yeah. Neil's
Yeah,
Donuts.
no,
that's
Neil's Donuts are
Yeah.
worth it.
I'll have to check them
Well,
out. Are
there's
they
Al's
open?
Donuts in North.
They should be. Let's check their website real quickly.
Let's plug them,
I
even
just got
though they don't
donuts.
even know we're plugging them.
And Con Guy, I know I owe you a phone call, sir. I have to talk to Edson here first about when we're going to do that, and then I'll contact you.
You guys gonna do a football thing?
Oh, okay.
We're going to do the playoff show, and
Nice.
I asked Con Guy to join us.
Nice. I'll definitely tune in on that.
Let's see. Neil's Donuts. All right, here we go. Let me pop it up here.
Where are they? Wallingford, you said?
Wallingford Townville Land. Yep.
Where are they in Wallingford?
That thing's spazzing out.
Down.
They're
what's
on
that?
North Turnpike Road. It's on the west. They have 2 locations now. They're in
Yeah,
Middletown.
I heard about this, that they were opening up another.
Is that up
I'm
toward
in Middletown more than in Wallingford. I'm going to go get some.
Is that up towards like where Home Depot is on the
No, it's on
Valley
the
line?
other side of town, almost near Yalesville. Do you know where the Westbrook Lobster? What's that place called? What?
Is it near the North Haven line where the park is?
No, it's going toward Cheshire.
Oh God, it's really on
the same road as the Oakdale,
near
only
Route
going back
68.
toward Meriden. Yeah, like if you take Route 68 and go past the Duchess, right, and you get to the 4-way light, take a left, and it's like, I don't know, a mile and a half down the road inside. It's a tiny little house. It's a place.
Yalesville, west side of town. There you go.
Yalesville, west side. Yep.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Can we see the donuts? Do they have a
menu.
list? Well, now I'm tempted after work tomorrow. I got to stop at this
Here
place.
we go.
Oh,
damn, son!
And like seriously, they're like this big, Jude.
That's a thing. They're big.
Yeah, but that's not good because like I like to try the different ones. So like you got to cut them up into pieces or have the donut.
But they're not like. But the difference, Stacy, it's not like a Dunkin' donut is dense.
Yeah,
it's like eating a brick. These things are kind of like light. Like they're
probably why it says
big,
5 days.
but they're like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
There's the yeast leaven donuts, which are like the fluffier ones, and then there's the cake donuts, which that's what I like. I like a cake donut unless it has jelly in it. Then I'm like a good with that. Like, yeah, I'm a donut connoisseur.
I get the I always get the sugar raised one here. Sometimes the chocolate sprinkles is good.
They got a Samoa donut, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then they have the filled ones.
And they have the filled.
The Boston cream is smaller. Yeah. Now now I want to go there.
Yeah,
what time are they open tomorrow?
Thanks a lot.
6 a.m. I'm going to be waiting outside.
Now, did they say they're open, or are they just doing pickup?
No, I think they're open. I don't know. They don't have any like coof news here.
Well, we can always contact them.
Yep.
That's the most dangerous place if you work there after hours. And at the end of the night, they're like, "Well, we got to get rid of all these donuts."
I would think
because donuts go. When you buy a donut, you ever like hold it in the bag overnight, and then the next morning you eat it, and it's like stale. It's like the only thing that once it only has like a day shelf life.
I don't ask. Hey, Con Guy, are they open? Have you been there?
Of course.
I'm sure they're open. Like there's a
kryptonite jelly donut.
What?
You said a jelly donut's kryptonite, right?
I love a good jelly donut.
Oh, you do? Okay.
There's a good place in Mystic, downtown Mystic. They got kind of fancy donuts, but they're outstanding donuts.
Well, next time we go to a movie at Mystic, we'll have to go
They
get
close
some.
at like 2, though. I think they're only open.
Then I'll just have to come down early. The Village is great. I'll shop in the Village. The
downtown.
Christmas Day, nothing was open. I would have gone down earlier, but nothing.
Am I the only person that got lost in that? It was the first time I was there. I drove in the opposite direction of where you guys were going, thinking that would get me out, and I drove all the way around. And then I met back up with Keith. I met back up with Keith, and I was like, I feel like an idiot.
Would you go behind the aquarium or something?
I took a right instead of a left.
Yeah,
and you can't get out. It goes all the way around.
You can though.
Can you? I got lost like an idiot. I was like, what the hell?
That Tom and Jerry looks so terrible.
What does?
That Tom and Jerry movie?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'll come down and watch that, and we'll go shopping.
Oh my God! Did you watch the preview?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Usually trailers can make even bad movies look good. That does not even look like. Oh my God! Like, why did they do that?
They're open for takeout.
Okay.
That's pretty much what they're. So you can walk in, get your stuff, and walk out. They never had seats in there anyway. It's very tiny.
Yeah, most people are doing that now anyway. Yeah.
I think we should definitely get our tickets for Black Widow, though. I want to see it there at the theater.
Yes.
So,
When is that supposed to come out?
May. It
May.
said May.
Is it? Okay. Definitely.
And yeah, maybe I feel like this year is going to fly by for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
last year actually, I felt went really
Because
fast, even though
once
it
we
was
get
COVID.
unleashed and we can go out and do whatever we want, it's going to be like a free for all, man. It's going to be like,
Well, if I can get the shot, I mean, I know I'll be a guinea pig, but I'm thinking about doing it if it comes my way.
You'll probably,
do it. They're going to make us have a
The vaccination?
passport on our phone to go anywhere. Anyway, they're already doing it in Spain.
Another day.
They're already doing it in Spain. So
If I get vaccinated, I'm just going to sit in the middle of the theater with my big bug popcorn. Come on.
Row
I already do that.
row C is where you want to be. You are in the best seat of the whole place, Jude.
You know what? Like I said, you guys, did you get my text message when I went to Target and they had that huge?
I saw that. Yeah, those
of
are,
Godzilla
those
action
are
figures?
actually
Yeah, I know.
a discontinued line from NECA.
There was like 5 of them, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my! I was underneath the shelf and I was pulling them out, and I was like, oh my god, it's endless. Was that part of the
My
NECA?
boys used to have one of those.
Yeah,
It used to
this
make
is
sound.
actually no. This is all from Jack Specific for King of the Monsters. Oh, you got a Trendmasters one. Very nice.
This is
Yeah,
old.
the NECA line they've lost their license, so they're probably those are
Oh, is
probably
that why the NECA line's shutting them down?
Yep.
Then I better
Well,
go get the 54 version.
There was one. I swear to God, there was one from almost every movie.
Yeah, no, there is.
In a box.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
all
go to their
the
website, the NECA Toys website. I'll go there.
and the front box had the poster artwork, so it wasn't in English at all. It was all in the bold Japanese lettering. And then when you opened it up, it had the little blister window, and then some had like effects, and then they have actually the mouth effect where you plug it into his mouth and it's like a bolt.
Yeah,
they were great. They were so great, and there were so many of them. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, there's every time they change.
I actually don't really care for them. I've got the SH Monster Arts versions of them, and they're much more accurate. But they're also like $100 a pop.
I was going to say
Yeah.
they're more
because they're
expensive.
from
The NECA ones, I think, were like $20 a pop.
yeah.
But
They're,
it was-
yeah, there's definitely if you put the two side by side, you can tell. Oh, okay, this one's definitely the cheaper one. But
NECA makes some great figures, though. I got a NECA Ash figure.
Yeah, the NECA, the
I love
alien
that figure.
ones are pretty good too.
They're not like perfectly
yeah, the aliens are
articulated,
good,
but-
except they have bad ankles.
Do they?
I don't know
Yeah,
if they have
I
another
got
NECA one here.
a swarm of alien figures, and basically they either have bad hips or bad ankles.
I saw it. That I was wondering why they lost the Godzilla one.
They just it went to Playmates.
Action figures are like plastic crack, man. Once you buy one, you're done. You just keep going.
They have these visual guides of all the properties they've released, all the figures of, and they have the Godzilla one right here.
The Target I went to, the one in North Haven, they had almost every single one of those figures.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back. I want to get the 54 one. I don't really care about the rest because I have this guy right here.
I love the mouth effects.
This
Look
guy's
how the mouth effect bolts out.
Yeah. See, I don't want the one from the American 56 one. I want this one, the original Godzilla.
Yeah, they had that one there.
This
Yeah,
one
that,
here?
that, that
Yeah.
the
I
green
took a
one,
picture of
the
it.
poster art variant.
Which one?
The,
This one
the
here?
green one, yeah, that
Yeah.
one. It's
Yeah.
a poster art variant.
Right. Yeah, it's from the
So
and the Shin Godzilla might be cool too. This
No,
one.
I actually had that one. I was doing a custom figure from Shin Godzilla when all like the humanoids all come off of his tail. Spoilers. But yeah, his head is just this. It doesn't look great.
Is it this one you got with the open jaw or this other one?
The red one.
Really? This one right here?
Yeah.
I really like the slime one, the one where he's got kind of slime dripping on him. It's the
Right
Godzilla
here.
verse. Yeah,
Bio attack.
I actually looked at that one. I was like, "Oh, this one's awesome."
Yeah.
Biollante slime. Yeah.
So, Pete, real quick, because you're the Godzilla authority, what year? When is this?
I want to say probably 95, 96.
Okay.
Wow, it looks pretty good for that year.
Because Trendmasters had the license for a couple of years, and then the American one came out in 98. So I want to say that one's 95.
So Bandai owns Godzilla, the license.
Toho. Toho owns Godzilla, and Bandai has been doing figures over in Japan for years. But over in the United States, it's now Playmates Toys that has it for Godzilla versus Kong.
I've seen those. They don't look very good.
Boy, Playmates. I didn't think they had a license to anything anymore.
No, but how come Stacy looks like you?
I don't know.
I
Why
was going to say that.
That's so weird. It's because she logged in to help me tonight with that. Your avatar was me.
I know. I saw it, but I really needed to go.
I have to too.
And I'm really enjoying her new space too. This is a whole new space. You got some nice artwork. What's up with the artwork?
It's just fan. It's like mostly Red Sox stuff. It's Pearl Jam, but
that's cool. I like
Fenway
that.
Park poster. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
you had the plant. I didn't mind the plant, but I like the little.
I know it's so boring though. I'm like, it's much cooler down here. So.
You got to get some LED effects like Keith.
Yeah, right. I was looking at some fun stuff.
Those LED strips they're like $4 on Walmart.
Yeah,
they're 10 in the store, $4 online.
Yeah, and they come with the remote, right, Keith? Did you get the one with the remote where you could change the color?
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a little remote, and one remote controls them all. So
and you could strobe it.
Remote to rule them all. One remote to bind them.
Abby has that all over her room.
Oh, really? Just stick them on the ground?
She loves it. Yeah, you have to go up top of near the wall, at the top of the wall. And
yeah, it's got like a sticky. It's
adhesive on the back.
It comes like a rope, and it's got a stickiness to it, and you peel it off, and then you just paste it.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it's pretty good adhesive, and it just sticks.
Yep.
So
I just ran it around the baseboards all the way around the room.
Oh, okay.
And it's like $10 at Walmart. I think I got mine for 10.
They're $4.99 if you got Walmart.com. You can save $5 on each strip.
There you go, guys. We can get really fancy.
So we got to go to this.
If we can. Oh, it's 2022.
It used to be in February. They moved it to May, so they know something that we don't. And then it's back to February in 22. So they clearly got the okay somewhere. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be fine by May. So
here's a secret before you start this. I have a friend who owns a bead shop. All she does is jewelry, and she went to one of these toy fairs, and she said to the vendors that she owned a shop, and they gave her tons of shit for free.
All right, she's coming with us.
Yeah. Wow. She got little drones. She got like action figures. She got limited.
She's coming with us.
I think I might have a little shop somewhere too.
Yeah.
She walked out with more stuff because they think you're going to sell it in your shop.
Right. Now, I wanted to try to get a press pass, but we won't be able to do that.
Oh, that'd be great. That would have been awesome.
Enough. But
not yet.
No, not yet. But we do have to clear. I was looking at it.
Oh, grumpy cat.
We have to clear if we want to go in and do streams and stuff. We still have to clear it with them.
So we do man on the street type thing, right? We go to vendors and just do mic and
just take out a phone and stream. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe even no, because we're not pressed, but we might be able to find a spot to squat and maybe bring some people to sit them down and talk to them. But
McFarlane might be there.
John Amenta went there last year for Pina Comics and did a whole bunch of videos, and it looks awesome. So I think this would be fun, and
you get to play with a lot of toys. Come on,
little girls again. Yep. So
where's it?
New York City, Jacob Center.
Jacob Javits Center.
Jacob Javits Center. So
haven't been there in a while.
All right, gang. We're at 3 hours 19 minutes. Let's put this puppy to bed. Let's go around the horn. We'll start on the bottom row. We'll start with Pete. Do you have a recommendation?
I do. I am actually enjoying this Blaze Atari 2600 handheld.
Wow, that's cool.
I think I'm not sure if it's the company that's called Blaze or if the device is called the Blaze, but basically I got this off of Amazon. This is primarily from a European market, but it's got the wood grain on the back, the black slats, and it comes preloaded with like 40 games, and it has an SD slot so you can download stuff off the internet, or if you make homebrew games. And yeah, it's a little handheld Atari.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
Yars Revenge.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Yars Revenge.
Turn green.
Yeah.
So I do have a 2600 in my attic, and it's got probably like 20, 25, 30 games. If anybody wants it, take it. You can't hook up to your television. You have to have an old TV.
This one you can.
That's awesome.
It has an AV out port, so you can actually hook the thing up to your television.
That's cool.
The only downside is that it takes four AAAs.
That's
can't
awesome,
recharge,
though.
But still.
Okay. But you can buy rechargeable batteries.
Rechargeables, yeah.
Yeah.
Blaze Atari handheld. You can find them on Amazon.
That's awesome, dude.
My favorite Atari 2600 game was Pitfall 2. I used to love that game.
Oh, I love Pitfall.
Well, download it as a file, put it on the SD card, and you can have it in the palm of your hand.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
Good job. Okay, Jude, it's your turn.
I'm chipping away at Enterprise, man. I don't even know if I'm on season 2 at this point, because Netflix is kind of weird, because you just go, you know how it starts the next episode after the past episode? So I don't even know if I'm on season 2. I got balloons in my face.
Yeah, you did. You still covered.
It's only $33.
That's awesome for $33. Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
I might get one.
That's a great find.
Back to Enterprise.
Yeah, there's other Atari handhelds, but the buttons in a weird place, and the joypad isn't all that.
It doesn't have the
or that.
No.
What was that called? The spinner? Remember the spinner?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, it doesn't have that. It would probably just be a left-right.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
forgot
no,
what you use that
They
for.
called it a paddle.
A paddle.
There was Circus. Remember Circus? With
Yeah,
that
where you shoot the guy out of the cannon.
Yeah.
You would like land on the board, and then in the next guy. We used to play with that.
So, they would land on a teeter-totter, and you go up and pop up.
Yes.
You had to go catch him with the other side, like, because you didn't know where he's
It was
going.
basically Breakout with a circus theme.
Yeah.
There was another game I used to like playing too called. There was a game called Atlantis. You ever play it? Remember Atlantis?
What's that?
Your green screen. Your green screen is bleeding into it.
Still keen.
Oh, is that
It's a circus Atari.
Oh, okay.
Could see the balloons, but not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Space Invaders was fun
You'll
too.
have to shut off your chroma keying so we can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Circus Atari is on here. The one that you liked.
Yeah.
Or Barnstorm. You used to have to fly
through the
barns. Yeah. I've been chipping away at Enterprise, and I like it. Not all the characters are great. I have to say they're some of the characters are a little bit weak, but the woman that plays T'Pol, right? Is that how you say it? T'Pol? She's amazing. I mean, she's the strongest character on the show, and in fact, I feel like the show is really revolved around her at this point. I don't know why.
Trip the engineer.
Yeah, Trip the engineer is good too, and I like the whole Southern thing. You never really got a character like that with the thick Southern accent, and he keeps on.
Wait till you get into the later seasons. Yeah,
and he keeps on mentioning how much he likes catfish, fried catfish. But they're the strongest two characters on the show, and it's good for what it is. I don't think it's terrible. It's just I don't think it's filet mignon. I think it's it's
a Big Mac.
It's not terrible, and it's not that I would recommend it, but I think it's just at this point I never watched the show enough, but it's satisfying the Star Trek thing for me because I'm not going to watch Picard and I'm not going to watch.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah,
It's filet mignon when compared to Picard and Discovery.
Right.
It's a Big Mac when compared to all the other tracks.
Right. And it's got some good stories. And it introduces a lot of characters that, obviously
Did you get to the Borg episode yet?
What's that?
Did you get to the Borg episode yet?
I didn't get to the board episode yet. I got to the last episode I got to was with the guy
so mature.
with I wish I had something.
Sorry.
Wait. I have
Mine's
something, but it's not as cute. It's not as cute.
Hey,
I don't have it.
All right.
we're getting punchy.
So you think you're on the second? Well, maybe on the second season. Okay. Well,
I'm on. I think I'm on the second season. I don't know because Netflix does that. You know how it just
Yeah.
and then the worst is when it asks you, "Are you still watching?" And you're like,
Yeah,
"Fuck,
I'm not
of
a
course, I'm still
producer."
fucking watching."
I hate that. Makes
You
me
gotta
feel-
find the
I do
remote.
Before it starts the next one, sometimes I hit that backward arrow and just see where I am.
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before it starts. Yep.
It tells you at the top too, really quick.
But I will say, and I don't want to start this because we're already 3.5 hours in, but New Year's Day, I watched Cobra Kai season 3 within probably morning till mid-afternoon.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
You're waiting for that, weren't you?
That's awesome.
I know you guys didn't go into a deep discussion about it because I was listening while I was doing my training or whatever, if you want to call it training.
Training? Yes.
We're never gonna get out of here.
I know.
Well, we don't have to talk about it now. We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
we'll save it. We'll save it.
Because I mean, I don't know if anybody else is watching it besides the three of us. Edson or
No, I haven't seen it.
I did get through season 3, not in the same night, but
did you finish it?
Yes, I finished it.
Okay.
Okay. And Stacy and I.
Let's
yeah.
talk post stream. I have an idea.
What?
We'll talk post show. I have an idea.
Yeah, I think it needs its own, and it's still hot. It's still hot right now, so we can talk
it's
about
5
it.
days old, and it feels like it's 5 months old already.
Because everybody killed it.
Right. Edson, what do you got?
After I finished Cobra Kai, I saw this movie. I don't remember this coming in the theaters. Unknown, with Liam Neeson. Have you ever heard of that movie?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I saw it online.
I think it came out right before the Coof, maybe.
Oh, okay. I mean, it got me interested because it looked like it was going into one of these like stolen identities type movie. And then
isn't he on a train or something?
No, that's another movie that called.
Was he in that one too?
Yeah, he was in that one.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm getting them.
This is a different one.
Yeah, that
where he like someone steal, it looks like someone steals their identity and it's like his wife doesn't recognize him and all that. It looks like it's going down that way, and I'm telling you, it's not. There's a whole other big twist.
Yeah,
to it afterwards. Right. So, which I'm not gonna say what it is.
Oh, okay.
and I really, really liked, even though I know Liam Neeson's getting up there. He's not really that big anymore, but
yeah, and he's trying to do all this like action-packed stuff, and you're like, it doesn't work anymore.
Right. Yeah. Diane Kruger was also in it, so that was.
It's like watching Roger Moore fight. You're just like, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It was a good movie though.
Cool.
Lady Geek Time.
Oh, so for me, I've been like on this show called Bosch on Prime Video. It's a detective story, and it's based on best-selling series by Michael Connelly. It's like he's a detective in Hollywood, and it's pretty good. Like it keeps me interested. I'm on season 4 now. The newest season, I think 7, just came out recently.
Wow,
that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty goes through a whole case for the whole season pretty much. Like they're trying to one main case. It's pretty good. There's a lot of interweaving and stuff, and of course I interrupted that with 2 days of filled with Cobra Kai season 1.
Fucking knew it! Oh!
He was waiting for that.
Yeah, I had to say it. I mean, my 2 days of my life were spent with Cobra
And you
Kai.
guys did a whole 3 seasons. God, that's what, 2 days, 3 days?
I did 1.5 one day, and like the other half of 2, and then all of 3 the next day.
I know. When Stacey told me that, I was like, "Oh my god! Like that's killing it."
I know it was. I liked, but it felt like a very long movie. It was good. It was really good. But yeah, and you know what else I just watched recently, which I had never seen before? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
now you could play that.
And there was much rejoicing.
I saw that in the theater, and I don't know if I'll ever watch that again.
Yeah, like I feel like I saw it once. I'm good.
I felt dirty after the movie.
Yeah,
I was
it's really
like,
it makes
ugh.
it's just disgusting. Like it's like uncivilized people living in civilized.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's extra disgusting thinking that's like based on like true.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting.
It's debauchery at its finest.
It really is. Like
For me, I just had a problem like being able to watch movies that are that long. Like I still
it
haven't.
was long. I didn't realize it. You know,
Yeah,
like
and I still haven't seen. What's the one he just did last year when they de-aged everybody? When they de-aged
The Irishman?
The
The Irishman. I haven't seen that for the same reason.
I started watching it and it was just it looked really weird. Like seeing
Like I if I'm gonna sit there that long, I want to watch like Lord of the Rings again. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch scummy people do scummy things for 3 hours.
it was. I didn't realize it was that long until I was way in.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies you watch once and you're like, it's good, but I would never watch it again.
Yeah, like Uncut Gems. I'll never watch that again. Either.
Yeah, it's just there's some movies you watch and after you get done watching it, you're like, yeah, I feel weird. I'm good. I feel dirty.
Right?
There's
Okay.
movies like-
It wasn't just me. Yeah.
There's movies like Goodfellas or The Godfather, or even some of the early Guy Ritchie movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock that are about bad people, but they're fun and entertaining. You want to watch them again.
Wolf of Wall Street just makes you.
Yeah,
feel good.
I don't think I.
Knowing there's
It's like-
people like that in this world is really.
Yeah, it's like watching Jackass the movie. You're not gonna watch it again.
I did get interviewed by one of the women from that movie, one of the actresses. She was at NAB East a couple of years ago, and I had to do an interview for the camera I was working. The company I was working for, we were selling our new camera, and I can't remember her name. But when I told my brother her name, he was like, "Oh, she's in the scene where this and this and this happens," and I'm like, "Okay."
And the Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo's amazing in that movie. He's like such a great actor.
Yeah.
Ever since The Departed, I've been sold on Leo.
Yeah,
I like Leo. Since anything, Catch Me If You Can was the first one I said, "Oh, okay."
I mean, he was great in Gilbert Grape, obviously.
I was just gonna say Gilbert Grape, he was great, but like Titanic, I just wanted to punch him in the face.
Departed was the movie I was like, okay, damn, yep, this guy's legit. Like from there on, I was like, yeah.
It's Rick Dalton, man. Rick Dalton.
There's a scene though in Wolf of Wall Street I really liked, and it's the scene where he's trying to bribe the actor there, Kyle Chandler. Is it?
Yeah.
He played the FBI agent, right? And he gets on his yacht, and they do that whole entire scene where he's trying to bribe him, and he goes, "Are you bribing me?" And they start laughing, and then it sort of turns into a joke, and then it gets really ugly.
It does,
and
yeah.
then he starts throwing money at him as he's walking off the boat.
Oh yeah. Oh, such a horrible person. Anyway.
But that's the best. Personally, that was one of the best scenes in the movie. I like that scene a lot.
Well, you're going to be angry with me because before I do my recommendation, I realized I forgot something. We'll do this quick. So it came out today that Zack Snyder released a photo of Wonder Woman that was a placeholder for the old photo that was in Batman versus Superman, ended up in the first Wonder Woman movie, where she posed with all her friends from World War One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He released this.
right.
This photo was the original photo. It was supposed to be from 1854, and you can see her here. She's holding 3 heads, 3 severed heads.
That's stunning. How brave.
Yeah, I think this might be. Clearly, they were going to make her a lot more savage, I think, than she turned out in her solo movies. Because this was swapped out for the World War I, and apparently Patty Jenkins was the one that said, "I don't want to set the first Wonder Woman in this time period. I want to set it in World War I." So away went this, but it's interesting. I mean, it's pretty barbaric looking, you know.
Yeah.
I
It looks
think
like the front guy looks like a British soldier. I don't know what the other heads are from.
It looks
But
like
it might
they
have been interesting. And to me, what it's going to, I'll put it back up for a second. And to me, I think this is the Wonder Woman we're going to get in Flashpoint. Because in Flashpoint, when Barry Allen goes back and alters time, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are waging a war that's wiping out the Earth. And Wonder Woman's like savagely barbaric. Like,
Well, that looks like that almost looks like a samurai to all the way to the left.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, all different.
So this is
like all different kinds of warriors from
So this is more Indian
Native American in the back. There's like
Right.
a Muslim guy behind her. There's it's
Yeah, interesting.
the guy with the beard looks Roman or something. It's interesting.
So it's like Middle Eastern kind of
Mediterranean
Mediterranean.
Ooh, interesting.
That's a good
Well-
setting. That's a cool setting, though.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting that photo came out today, and it looked like they were going to make her really a kind of a savage warrior.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. But I mean, it's fine. The way she turned out is fine.
So now they're gonna have to make the movie PG-13, and every little girl is not gonna be able to see it.
No. Oh, Flashpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know. Flashpoint will be interesting.
I always think about that with these characters, like when they do certain things on screen, whether or not they're like, you can't do that. Like little girls need to watch this and
of course
buy
they do.
the action figure.
That's why they have
You
focus
can't be that violent. You can't kill anybody.
No, of course they do.
I don't even think she killed anybody in '84, right?
No, there's not a single death in the movie.
Right, because she threw all the people. Even though those guys, when they hit the car after the mall scene, they hit that car pretty hard. I was like, they probably wouldn't have lived.
Or when Kristen Wiig picks up the rapey guy outside and throws him into the side of the truck.
Oh yeah, he definitely died later.
Dents the steel in the truck and then falls on his face on the sidewalk and gets up and walks away.
No, behind the scenes footage, I'm like, oh my God.
No, the homeless guy came over to him. He's like, "Are you okay?" The guy was still on the ground.
Right, laying in the street.
Internal injuries.
Well, that's when she kicked him all the way out into the road. But before that, threw him into the truck. He lands on the sidewalk and gets right up.
Right. All the
So-
alcohol,
Maybe. Anyway, I don't know if I have a recommendation. I recommend that everyone go watch Orville Nation's YouTube channel. And thank you to PJ for coming on and staying up way past his bedtime.
Probably morning there, right? 5
You
o'clock.
didn't have to, PJ. You didn't have to be that polite, sir. You could have ditched out at any moment. So know that going forward. I did watch Blue Velvet on New Year's Eve before.
Blue Velvet.
Probably why I was kind of in a bad mood before Edson and I did our football show.
What made you pick that?
It's been sitting on my shelf since I bought it this summer. It's a Criterion remaster. And Paul Harriet's been telling me how good it was, and I was just looking at stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this."
That's like going to the dentist. You kind of want to watch it, but
it's a great movie. But
no, it is. You just got.
It's amazing how David Lynch can take you like to the lowest depths of human behavior, and yet it's still entertaining, and you can't look away.
Right. That's one of those movies that you kind of have to have a headspace for.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper's just vile. But the one thing I will show before we wrap this up, I went over here to the newest member of my family here.
That thing's awesome.
Is I got Robbie the Robot.
Oh.
And see, here's the genesis of that. I was just Googling for some Star Wars Black Series figures, and I saw Cara Dune Black Series $2 at the Walmart in Avon, Connecticut. I'm like, $2?
Was it there?
No, of course not. Oh. I jumped in the car and went up, and I'm like, it's not here. But this guy was. Robbie the Robot.
Danger.
He was on sale for $11. And if you push the button, he walks. Wait. And he's...
I love
really
that.
cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He talks.
Altair Board, gentlemen. I am to transport you to the residence.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you've ever seen the movie Forbidden Planet, it's a classic. If you haven't, go watch it.
Leslie Nielsen in a straight role as opposed to being
as a leading man.
a leading man.
Yeah.
Leading man.
And he's cool. He's like a foot tall. It's really awesome.
Wow.
You know, for $11, I was like, even if it sucks, it's $11 and it's cool to look at. And the fact that it walks and talks, and that's cool. It actually has the same amount of functionality as the real movie robot did.
Right. Yeah.
So that was my adventure in shopping. So I guess that's it for this week.
Yep.
Please remember to subscribe. We need subscribers so we can make better things
so
happen.
bad at this.
Like if we get enough subscribers, like I can get kicked off this channel and you get a better host.
Ha.
Our social network at GeekTime Net. That's Twitter, the Facebook, and the Instagram. And you can also go to our website at geektimenetwork.com. Clicky. There's a way to contact us.
We have some wonderful merchandise.
That's right. I forgot to mention.
We have wonderful merchandise.
I'm working on the store.
You'll
The
notice
store is
Keith-
actually up. It is up. But
I might do another raffle. Speaking of merchandise, we might see another raffle in the future.
Excellent. So I think that's about it. That's a season 2, episode 1. That's a wrap, folks. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for Peter Bradley, Judah Buddha, Edson, Stacy, and myself, Mr. Caradoon, we will see you
next Tuesday.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?